had a consensual relationship with a female team staffer. The Yankees have now clinched a playoff spot, but Aaron Judge is still one home run behind Roger Maris's American League record. And with the Yankees playing at home this weekend, veteran broadcaster Bob Costas says it would be fitting for the record to be broken there.
If it happens in the Bronx, then you have the echoes of history. It isn't just the American League record. Since the lively ball era and since Babe Ruth virtually invented the home run, that record has always been held by a Yankee. It was always Ruth, and then it was Maris.
Bob Costas on Greeny. ESPN Radio will have live coverage of Judge's at-bats tonight starting at 6:30 Eastern during our coverage of the Braves and Phillies. Browns linebacker Anthony Walker will have season-ending surgery for a torn left quad.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends with Brett Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year two pom-pom people.
Casey Kurtz.
Yo! Well, what are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him!
This is Brent and Friends with Brett Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690.
Hey, what's happening? We made it to a Friday of another week. How about week 3 of the NFL season cruising along? Well, we're about week 5 of the high school football season, and that's where you find us on Fridays at some high school field in Northeast Florida or even Southeast Georgia. We've been up to Charlton County, and, well, today we are at Trinity Christian. We've got a big one. Trinity Christian hosting Columbia. This has been a good rivalry, really two proud programs when it comes to high school football. Last 2 years, Trinity Christian has gotten the better of Columbia. They've actually won 4 out of the last 6, and then before that there were some meetings they didn't play against each other for a little bit. But Columbia comes in playing pretty good football after a really surprising start. We're like, what's up with Columbia? And now the last 2 weeks, they've really turned it on. And Trinity's Trinity, 4-0, and they are looking for another win here at home tonight. There's some major star power now in this football game. Trinity has some big-time players in the area. They always do. So we'll talk some high school football throughout the afternoon, and Kevin Sullivan will join us in the 5 o'clock hour, leads all the way into our Blitz scoreboard coverage and our Friday night Blitz coverage on the TV side as well. Fridays at the Game of the Week presented by Nimnick Buick GMC, which means I'm on the back of the tailgate tonight today for a little afternoon fun, and it feels like football. Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz.
Yeah, man, you're high up on the truck. You look great out there. The sky doesn't look so great, but you look great.
Yeah, sky's not great, but it's almost better. It's like 80 degrees.
It's supposed to get cooler, too. Yeah, it's supposed to get down into the 70s at some point, almost as if it's not going to be summer until December.
Yes, that's probably it. But I just talked to my mother-in-law. She said it was in the 40s today up in Ohio. I talked to my old boss who's up in Albany, New York, and he said, I have my Action Sports Jacks hat on, like the winter hat on today. He was playing golf, and it was 48 degrees with 13-mile-an-hour winds. So it probably felt like 35 in Albany, New York today. How about that?
You don't miss that at all, do you?
I really don't. That's early, man. It's late September. I mean, I get it, fall, but that's a little bit
It's
too
interesting
much.
to me that you send merch back home to your former boss.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I got to take care of the people that got you here. You know?
Really don't, though.
Yeah.
You really don't.
But I do.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, listen, neither one of you guys got me here. But I still take care of you.
You still take care of us constantly, yeah. Like, I'll buy Casey some food, but I haven't bought you anything in like 4 or 5 months. I got to catch up.
Casey right now is still stuck on, what do you mean neither one of you got us here? What do you this show would be nothing without me.
Literally saying
on
that
the air
5 minutes before we started the broadcast.
It's funny because it's true. We were having a conversation about that. Yeah. So,
shocking. Yeah.
Oh, let's not go into Casey doesn't get any credit. We give Casy credit. Casey's done an unbelievable job over the last
The
year.
only one who doesn't give Casey credit is Visa and MasterCard.
Amen, brother. You ain't wrong.
Which is probably a good thing
Yeah.
as well. Hey, we got a Friday. That means the Jags are leaving tomorrow, and we'll be on that plane, of course, to L.A. Jags and Chargers. Wait for that injury report to come out. But, guys, I kind of feel like I like the Jags more and more as this week has gone on than normal, especially going out west. And Jags have got really hammered out there. I'm not factoring the West in as much because I think if you have good players, you have good players, and it might not matter. But the Chargers have really good players.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting game to see, okay, the Jags, are they good? Are they on the verge of being good? Where are they? I was just looking this up. And how about this? The Jags have been 2-1 through 3 weeks. Winning record, 2-1. I don't even remember last time they were 3-0, but 2-1 twice since 2007. That was 17 and 18.
Big years.
So 2-1, guys. That's not asking for like 8-2. Like, they have not been above 500 after 3 games more than twice since 2007. That's 15 years worth. That's how big this game potentially could give everybody else more hope that they could get on the front side of 500 for the third time in 15 years.
Yeah, I think there are lots of reasons to be nervous if you're a Jags fan about this weekend's game. First and foremost, that defense of the Chargers is just filled with dogs on it. But that being said, there's so many reasons to be excited and hopeful that your Jaguars are going to keep this ball moving forward, the momentum moving forward. West Coast be damned, they're heading for it.
Yeah, and I always wonder, I do this with you guys a lot, right? Like, what are we talking about on Monday? And so I was talking to some of the media folks when I was down at the Jags earlier today, and we're just chatting, and there's a lot of positivity all of a sudden, right? Like, hey, could they win the division? Yeah, maybe they could win the division. And I said, stop the car for a moment, all right? Because there's a really good chance, and I'm saying there's a really good chance. We look up 2 weeks from now, and the Jags are 1-3. And then what are we saying? And now the division might have one win at the most to lead the division. So I understand it. But the Jags are going to have to either pull off an upset over the next 2 weeks to stay in front of this, or they're going to have to go on a little bit of run and play catch up to do what some people think coming off this game and watching the other teams in the division think they can do. And so the talk, the conversation, every win matters. It changes it. It's fun. It's been a really cool week in Jacksonville. I think there's a lot of hope going even to L.A., and they're playing a bit with house money. But that house money falls to 1-3 potentially if they lose this one, then go to Philadelphia and lose to a team that's probably better than them. And then what does it look like as we're talking on October 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, as Houston comes to town? That becomes a real critical game if the Jags can't pull one of these upsets. So, you got to moderate it. We have had a record number of Sunshine and Rainbow Club entries here this week.
A lot of people signing up for the team, huh?
Yeah, but you still gotta. All right, let's keep it real now. Let's keep it real. So, listen, I look at these 2 weeks. Can you get one? Can you steal one? And in the course of a season, stealing games is important, especially on the road when you're underdog. It can happen in the NFL. Happens every week in the NFL. Can the Jags do that? Casey Kurtz, that's the big question here on a Friday.
Yeah, it is, and we're about 9 minutes into the show, and we buried the lead a little bit because, aforementioned, I was bragging to Aaron before the show, but right around that time, Daniel Popper, covers the Chargers, said
cover the Jags.
Justin Herbert is not throwing today during the practice open to the media, and Chase Daniel is taking all the first-team reps. Also, you currently cannot bet on the Jags-Chargers game, and the line is down to 4.
I saw 3.5 on one of the books. Yeah, so they're moving that line, but I really don't think that they know something that we don't know at this point. I think they're just protecting themselves. I think Staley said it in the press conference yesterday. He's day-to-day. We're going to see how he feels on game day. Some of the experts saying it's not about whether he can make a throw or the pain tolerance. It's about functionality as well. I'm not sure what that means. That sounds like analysts speak for we're going to wait and see what the coaches say, but I mean, the reality is whether he practices or not, we're just not going to know till game day, right?
Casey, we won't know till game day, but I want you to repeat what you just said. I did not see that as I was setting up for the show. Is that it just came out?
Yeah, it was like 11, 12 minutes ago on Twitter.
Okay, yeah, so it really did just come out. So give us that again from Daniel Popper, by the way, who covered the Jags for The Athletic for a little bit, and he's been out in L.A. We've had him on the show before. But this turns into massive news, really. I don't think we can't take this lightly. And Aaron, like you said, we might not fully know until 11:30. Well, actually, it'll be even later than that Eastern time when inactives come out on Sunday. or unless a national guy reports it Saturday night or something is how we might find out. But this is a move now. This is potential toward not playing on Sunday. This gives me the most pause I've had about Herbert not playing on Sunday, this Popper report.
Yeah, so now, I mean, it's all over Twitter at this point, everyone that covers the Chargers, but the point of the story is this. And there's also some other reports out there that aren't from blue check marks, so I'm going to leave that out. But for the 19 minutes that is apparently still ongoing that the Chargers media has been at practice, he has not thrown one pass. Chase Daniel has taken every single rep with the first team.
First teamers, yeah.
And again, I said it was 4. Aaron, you said it was 3.5. I now see it as 3.
Wow. It's moving as we speak.
At 7. I think it started at 7.
Yeah, 7. And that's a home game for the Chargers. So at 3, basically you're saying if this was a Jags home game, it's -0.5 point for the Jags.
And other updates, by the way. J.C. Jackson out there but not participating according to Popper. Corey Linsley is not out there. He's the center. And Keenan Allen is not participating in individual drills, and he has a hamstring. And I really thought there was some momentum, at least inside the Jags building, that thought Keenan Allen would play in this game. And so now you start wondering about all those guys. I mean, Allen and Linsley, by the way, Linsley, the center, he's good. But if he doesn't play, their line outside of Slater is really just okay. Slater's very good, but they are just okay. And Chase Daniel, who has made the most money by throwing the less passes like in NFL history, might have a chance to be, again, it certainly changed. Justin Herbert is one of the premier players in the NFL right now. This is a really good football team. J.C. Jackson signed a major deal, and obviously slow coming off injury, and he might not be back. In fact, I doubt he is back, but they're still strong back there now. They got Asante Samuel Jr., I love him. And obviously Derwin James, and they got Bosa, and they got Mack. They're strong on defense. They can win a game, by the way, on defense alone.
Yeah, and not only that, but you're also talking about Trevor, who we saw his stats in that Commanders game under pressure, and now he's going to have Khalil Mack and Bosa running after him. He didn't see that kind of ferocity in the Commanders game. And then someone remind me of Lawrence's record on the road, too, before we start getting so excited about Herbert not playing.
Well, he's 0 for 9.
Yeah.
He's 0 for 9.
He's got a big one hanging over him right now.
There's a great stat somebody in the national media had where the Peyton Manning went, it's like the worst record on the road, I think, for a rookie quarterback, or maybe it's a first overall pick, I don't know. 0-9 since Peyton Manning went 0-9, and in his second season, Week 3 against the Chargers, the then San Diego Chargers, Peyton Manning won on the road.
Nice.
So how about that? Isn't that crazy?
That's great.
That's crazy. What do we call that? Irony, I guess, but parallel.
Yeah.
There's another word I'm missing here. What's when things are exactly the same on each side? Help me out.
I think parallel is pretty good.
No, like
coincidence?
No. Gosh, why can't I get this word? It's an easy word.
Just blame it on Casey. That's
it's like geometry or something, you know? If like you folded it over and it was exactly the same. Symmetry.
Oh, symmetry. There you
That's
go.
what I was looking
All
for.
right.
Symmetry. My gosh, I almost had to call the English teacher or something in here at Trinity Christian. What's the chances I fall off the side of my truck?
Hopefully very high.
I'm teetering here.
And it's windy. We hear the wind. So,
and best case scenario, it happens while we're live, not in commercial.
Are you kidding me? Do you know what kind of views we'd get on TikTok if Brent falls off this truck? I'm clipping it in the middle of the show.
Just make it happen, Brent.
Somebody should just push me. So listen, this is massive, guys.
Yeah.
Let's over dramatize it because I don't think you can.
Yeah.
I don't think you can. Again, you're talking Keenan Allen, premier player.
Yes.
Right? Justin Herbert, premier player.
Yes.
Linsley's your center, and that hurts your offensive line. So
let's
just take the offensive side of things. And this certainly changes everything. I mean, Chase Daniel, I do believe this. He's capable. He's certainly capable. He wouldn't still be in the league. He's got plenty of experience. It's not like he's going to be deer in the headlights guy, but he's certainly not anywhere close to Herbert.
He's never showed it in his career. He's a smart guy. Everyone's always regarded him as like a heady player, but no one's ever really talked about his prowess on the field outside of college.
Yeah, I mean, no, what everybody talks about, I'm trying to find the numbers on on Daniel. He's made like $41 million and thrown 240 passes, I think, like in his career. Something nuts like that. And so, again, he's been around. I had never say, I said this earlier in the week, don't assume if Herbert plays that your Jags are going to automatically win. That's not the assumption. He's not going to automatically win.
Sorry about that. As of August, 261 passes in his career, 36 million.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad. He's like the poster child for that, like the backup QB role.
Mr. Clipboard, yeah.
And so if he does play, I think this is a big indicator on a Friday. And I don't know how they do their practices. Like around here, Wednesday, Thursday are the bigger practices. But I felt like coming out of the Indianapolis week, like Thursday was their bigger practice, more so than Wednesday. And I don't know what they do out in L.A. I mean, I can't imagine Friday's like a big practice. But you'd think your quarterback would be taking reps, right, in whatever's going on.
But what happens
You'd think
if
Keenan Allen would be out there doing individual drills, trying to work back if he could work back? I mean, I think signs are pointing toward these guys not playing, fellas.
I get not putting Allen out there just because he's a veteran. He's been in the league forever. So if he's going to play, you rest him. I think, what is it, a hamstring or a quad or something like that? You don't want to aggravate that. The Herbert thing is interesting because of the kind of injury it is. He was out there yesterday, limited, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's not out there today could mean that he made it worse. He re-aggravated it, or just they want to rest him. They saw him yesterday. They know they're not going to make the call till game day, so they put him down. Maybe they wanted to get Chase some reps because who knows what could happen. Even during the game, he could hurt himself and have to come out. But you're right. The Herbert thing, I think, is more telling than maybe the Keenan Allen thing. Yesterday I was going to ask you guys a question during Two Truths and a Lie. We didn't really get to it. But one of the things I was going to ask you is if you thought the Jags would hold the Chargers to less than 100 rushing yards. But without Justin Herbert, when you have Chase Daniels under center, without Keenan Allen on the field, I mean, where do you go if you're the Chargers? Where is the offense? Because already they're not really a rushing team, even with those guys in the backfield. They have some good backs, but Austin Eckler is more of a pass catcher than a pure runner.
Well, he can do both, and he's dangerous, and he's off to a slow start, Casey, right? I mean, he has not played to the level of where they think he usually is early on. And so I think the big deal with their offense is they do have more than Keenan Allen. They have Everett, who I think is dangerous.
Everett's good.
And Mike Williams is really dangerous.
But Everett
and Eckler can be dangerous. So it doesn't like eliminate their options, but you take away Keenan Allen, he's really, really good. And the bigger factor is Herbert because, like you're saying, Aaron, they want to put it in his hands.
Yeah.
Like they'll throw it out of the first 40 plays, they'll throw it 32 times, and he'll go 28 for 32. So they're not going to do that with Chase Daniel. They would lean on the run a hell of a lot more.
I look at a guy like Gerald Everett, and I know he can do some damage there on the field. Last year, 4 touchdowns, almost 500 yards. But to me, it's more Herbert utilizing him than it is he's that good of a tight end. So without Herbert on the field, I'm looking at Everett as not as dangerous. Mike Williams maybe still as dangerous. Keenan Allen certainly would be, healthy or not. But Everett I'm not as scared of anymore, I guess.
Yeah, Casey, what do you think? I mean, Eckler's still so dangerous. I know he's off to – it's a pretty disappointing start for Eckler, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it has. But, again, he's not really a 3-down, carry the football back. So, yeah, I mean, he's been disappointing. But with a quarterback like Chase Daniel, who's probably going to dump it off a bit, yeah, he becomes just as dangerous as he was. But to your earlier point, Brent, like you say, Chase Daniel's capable – I disagree with you because I think the only reason he's still on the team at his age and all the backup money you've said is to talk Justin Herbert through everything. Like every part of the game, he's seen everything. I solely think that's why he's on the team, and I don't think he's capable of winning an NFL game right now.
I certainly don't think they expected him to have to. And by the way, in that backfield, Joshua Kelly is a good young back, but they also have Sony Michel, who I forgot about. So, I mean, they have some capable guys back there.
Listen, but some more news. We'll see. And Casey, I think that's a good point. I think that's a fair point. And I also think what I've got to do in my mind, see, I have some scar tissue of Colts guys and Geno Smith last year and others. Well, the thing about it is this Jags defense is a lot better. Like for a guy like Chase Daniel to go against a defense that's playing pretty good right now in terms of opportunistic, can get after you, will turn it over. Like, that's not a good recipe for a backup quarterback.
No way.
I mean, the speed of the game. I don't care how long you've been doing it. If you haven't done it a bunch, which he hasn't, I don't think it's like riding a bike. And so it's different than walking in to maybe play the Colts defense and the style they play, because they're not going to come after you. Well, the Jags, I think, are going to come after you a little bit, and they've shown with 4 guys and those 2 edge guys right now that they've had the ability to do so, and then you couple that with the offensive line. So, Casey, I think that's a really good point. Let me give you guys one more update. Yeah, hold on a second. Jonathan Jones, Chargers QB, Jonathan Jones from CBS Sports, covers the NFL well. Chargers QB Justin Herbert still dealing with discomfort from his rib cartilage injury. Everyone's weighing risk/reward of playing him this Sunday versus Jaguars. Chargers are currently practicing. And this is something that we talked about all week. And of course, the Jags are playing him. I actually wouldn't mind seeing Herbert play because I think he's a fantastic talent, and I like to see that. I like Herbert versus Trevor. I want to see where the Jags are from a measuring stick standpoint. Like, there are some things in there. But, now listen, Jags, the Jags haven't won around here. We haven't talked about wins around here much. So if this helps them win a game and put them in good position so we can all have fun around here in Jacksonville, well, fine. That's it. But I'm saying this more from a neutral perspective. Like, if we were talking about the Chargers on a daily basis and they weren't playing the Jags, I said this earlier in the week. I think it's really risky for the Chargers to play him if he's in any kind of discomfort that could cause him to miss more time.
Yeah.
He was in so much pain last week in that game that I don't know how you could feel so great about it so quickly. And I guess it's one of those injuries. Talked to a lot of people that have had that now. Maurice Jones-Drew joined us Monday. He's had it. Others have had it. And they say, listen, you can feel fine for a second, and then you make a move, and then it's like just the worst pain ever. So, I mean, the discomfort he's going to have most likely if he plays is probably there. And then do you run the risk of further injury? Because if I'm Staley in the Chargers, I've got a tough AFC West, and I need to be ready the whole season with this guy. I can't go play him against the Jags or any other team in week 3 and run the risk of losing him for 4 or 5 weeks, because then you might lose your season. You might lose your opportunity. So, again, sure, would it be nice for the Jags to have it a little bit easier than playing Herbert and everybody else? Yeah, that's probably not a bad thing from a Jags perspective. But I think if you look at this from a Chargers perspective, that they really have to, that risk-reward part that Jonathan Jones said, I think that's a significant thing here because the AFC West is tough, it's a long season, and you need this guy. Like, you are not making hay in that division or anywhere without Justin Herbert. I mean, he is pivotal to that. He's played excellent football the last 2 years, and you still couldn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you need him. And by the way, you're going to put him behind an offensive line, guys, that's probably beat up and is not great. So there's a lot that goes into this, I think, for Staley and the Chargers.
And by the way, not just the AFC West, but they play the NFC West as well. So figuring that the 49ers maybe get it together or the Cardinals get it together and the Rams get it together, those aren't easy games either. This is a front to back, pretty tough schedule they've got.
And by the way, Brent, you must have saw the YouTube video I saw on this. There's a really good YouTube video out there right now about weighing the risks of if they should play Justin Herbert versus, resting him, even if he's healthy.
Where could they find that YouTube video, Casey?
Rumor has it, you just got to search ESPN 690 Action Sports Jacks. There's a cute little thumbnail of a fellow that looks kind of like me, a fellow that looks kind of like Brian Middleton, and then a fellow that really looks like Justin Herbert but in cartoon form. So
what you're saying is Brandon Staley listens to Overtime.
Yeah, what I'm saying is Brandon Staley found the video, which, by the way, I trashed him in, so I'm sure he's upset about that. But, yeah, you can find that video as well, just ESPN 690 on YouTube. It's a good one.
Hey, let me go one more thought here. We're going to continue to talk about this throughout the show. We'll bring it back because it's huge news. Again, if you're just jumping in, Herbert not doing individual drills, not throwing right now while the media is out there. It doesn't mean he won't throw, but he's not. Chase Daniel getting all the reps. Keenan Allen not out there doing individual drills. Center Corey Lindsley not out there at all. J.C. Jackson not doing individual drills. So there's some injury problems for the Chargers, but the headline story is Herbert. One thing I thought about a lot today, if Herbert does play, okay, here's one thing you can definitely expect. They're going to lean on the run game. He will not be able to run at all because you saw it last week, Casey and Aaron. He didn't want to run on that one play where he could have easily got it.
Yeah.
And he's not going to damage, put himself in jeopardy of doing that. So you eliminate the legs, really, of Herbert, I think, in this situation. And you're probably going to get a whole lot of quick game from the Chargers. Now, probably do it anyway because everybody does it, but they might do it even more. That they're going to just get the ball out of his hands so he doesn't get hit. So there's a way to game plan around it, but it also limits some of their strengths. Going downfield, sitting back there in the pocket, running around, Herbert scanning everything, and Herbert running for some yardage too because he's more than capable of doing that. So even if Herbert plays, this will be a somewhat conservative, I would think, game plan for the Chargers on offense.
One more question before we go to break. One more.
I like it.
I was going to ask this yesterday. Again, I didn't get to it. But after this weekend, if the Jaguars beat the Chargers, will Vegas finally name them favorites to win the AFC South?
I think you would have to come off that game and let's see where the Colts are playing the Chiefs. That would be a big upset, right?
Yep.
The Titans, if they beat the Raiders, that would be a pretty good win. I mean, a lot of respect right now for the Raiders.
Yeah.
So I think you have to, first of all, see that. But I would guess yes to answer your question.
How insane is
again,
that?
If the Colts beat the Chiefs, I mean, people are going to give them a lot of respect, right?
And also, what's happening to the Chiefs?
Well, yeah, I mean, but listen, we've seen this before. I wouldn't be stunned if one of those teams, if the Titans or Colts won. I mean, they're
well, they kind of have to. Their seasons are on the line in week 3.
It feels like now Colts. Remember, they got the tie, so that's a difference maker. They really only have one loss. You know what I mean?
But it was a tie against a team that should have been a winnable game. You at some point you run out of winnable games, especially for bad teams.
But to your point, yeah, they probably would, and then it would. I mean, I think it changes how everybody should look at the Jags season if they win one of these 2 games. If they're 2-2 after 4 games, the first month of the season, I think it probably changes the way a lot of people, especially the way they got it, losing to Washington, beat Indy, and then steal one of these 2 games against good teams. We know that.
That bandwagon's getting heavy, Brent. You're going to have to hitch it to that Nimnik truck you're sitting on top of.
That's right. Fridays, Trinity Christian, our game of the week, hosting Columbia tonight, 7:30 kickoff, all our Blitz coverage, and our Friday coverage here on Brent and Friends on ESPN 690, presented by Nimnik Buick GMC. We'll be right back on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Breezy and cooler today under partly sunny skies. Highs only topping out in the low 80s, falling into the 70s by late afternoon. Nice and cool tonight under mostly clear skies, dropping to 60 to 65. And a mostly sunny start to your weekend. It'll be mild tomorrow. Your Saturday high near 85. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where now you can buy like a dealer buys.
Back in the day, crime was someone stealing something off the patio. Today, it's violent crime. Oftentimes, the bad guys hack into cameras and doorbells, steal your privacy, and break into your house while you or your loved ones are home. Criminals today are much smarter and more violent. You simply cannot fight today's criminals with do-it-yourself alarms. That's why you need a safe touch security and surveillance system with its 5 layers of detection and protection. Number 1, the safe touch sign. Crooks know to stay away from safe touch houses. Number 2, cameras using analytic technology that alerts the bad guys they are on camera while simultaneously alerting you, the homeowner. Number 3, entry alerts that notify Safe Touch before the bad guys even enter. Number 4, the exclusive Safe Touch two-way communicator that immediately alerts local emergency authorities. And number 5, the Safe Touch central monitoring center that is right here and not in some remote, out-of-state location. Don't delay. Demand is at an all-time high. Call and receive professional installation at no charge. 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com, state license EF233.
Hi, I'm Mike Holmes, professional contractor and TV host. I love helping people, but when it came to improving the water in my own home, I needed help and turned to the water experts at Connecticut to make it right. My water was causing visible problems throughout my home, and it got me thinking about the problems I couldn't see. Protecting my water using appliances and pipes, preventing stains and hardness buildup, and having clean, great-tasting drinking water are all important to me. But choosing the right water treatment equipment can be tricky. That's where Connecticut comes in. A Connecticut water expert will test your water for free and recommend the system that fits your needs and budget. Improve the quality of your water and your life with the Connecticut water treatment system. I'm so glad I did.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com for your free assessment. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Florida license number CFC 1428211.
When Smart Tools give you control, you own it. When you're confident in your decisions, you own it. When you're sure someone's got your back, you own it. At Community First Credit Union, you can own it all. With free digital banking, fewer fees, and a team that's ready to help, you're in control of your money so you can live your life your way. Go ahead and own it. Add an account today at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Ready to swoop in the fall of 2022? The UNF Ospreys are ready with a lot of momentum on campus. New improvements at UNF Arena with basketball season right around the corner and tickets already on sale. The fall schedule underway in volleyball and men's and women's soccer, also men's and women's cross country. Get the latest news, schedules, results, and information on tickets for all things Ospreys at unfospreys.com. Join the Osprey Club, attend a game or a match. Be a part of the momentum at the University of North Florida right now at unfospreys.com.
We're ready to deal. Best Bet St. Augustine is now open. Experience the best in poker, simulcast wagering, and fun card games for all levels at Best Bet St. Augustine. Best Bet's newest card room features 49 gaming tables, a state-of-the-art sports bar, delicious wings, a full-service bar, and freshly made sushi. Open from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. Monday through Friday and 24 hours on the weekends. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311. For promotions, go to bestbetjacks.com.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
It's the Blitz Scoreboard Show every Friday night at 9 p.m. on ESPN 690. Join Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and the Hall of Famer Kevin Sullivan for scores, analysis, interviews, and live video of games on the ESPN 690 social media platforms.
I think they're a team somewhere in between there. I don't believe they're a defense that is that bad that you're going to give up 35 points in 3 quarters weekly, or that's something that's going to become the norm. I also don't necessarily know that they're the 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter type of team with the 2 long bombs against broken coverage to Tyreek Hill. And so when you look at this team, this is the week, right? This is the true litmus test of who you are. You're playing against the Buffalo Bills, who will be banged up at the corner position, who won't be at full strength. This is a chance that if you're a Tua Tagovailoa, to say you've arrived.
Brent and Friends returns, ESPN 690. I'm Aaron Schachter with Brent Martineau, who's live out at Trinity Christian Academy, hanging out with the high school games tonight. Casey Kurtz, the Red Menace, behind the glass, hitting the buttons, doing his thing with a scowl on his face from 3 to 7 every day.
He seems happy, actually.
Yeah, he's having a good day. I got him some food. I think he's happy when I get him some food.
Yeah, like did you have like a meeting or something, Casey? I saw you for a brief minute. It looked like you had done your hair today and everything.
Is that what his hair looks like when it's done?
No, I just freshly was out of the shower, Brent, and didn't have any T-shirts left, so I threw a polo on with gym shorts.
Wow. I was like, man, what is up today? I mean, maybe he's got an interview somewhere, Aaron.
That's fancy dress, polo shirt, and gym shorts, man. It doesn't get fancier for that, I think, Casey.
That's pretty fancy. I mean, the first month we did the show, he had a headband on every day with his hair just going wild.
A lot of compliments on that headband.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was prime Casey.
Casey, who was the sound?
What sound?
That we just played. Who was the commentator?
Ryan Clark.
Oh, that was so yesterday when I guessed Ryan Clark, it's a no-go. But
I forgot we were doing like the show.
Today I'm like, oh, who's that? Oh, it's Ryan Clark. Hey, but Ryan Clark is actually talking about what I want to talk about, guys. It's interesting how that happens, Casey. Good job.
Amen.
Very busy NFL Week 3, guys. Lots
they don't
of
call
big
me
games.
The best for nothing.
They don't actually ever call you the best. Lots of big games on the schedule this weekend. And first and foremost, it starts with the game they were just talking about, that Bills-Dolphins game in Miami. And as Ryan Clark was alluding to, you got a few starters now on the defense who will not be playing in this game.
Yeah.
One of them a corner. Now, you kind of need corners against the Dolphins now.
Well, yeah, I would say you do. But the Bills, they can overcome almost any. They're the team that can overcome a lot, right? Because Josh Allen can control everything. And should we expect Tua to be doing? I mean, he had an unbelievable quarter. But is this going to be the new precedent, right, for the Dolphins?
I mean, 6
is Tua
touchdowns
just going
a
to
week.
take off?
No.
I mean, I know. I'm just saying good football, right?
Yeah.
Is he going to regress at times? Is he going to still be up and down? Is there going to be a little bit of a roller coaster? And by the way, the guy not getting enough attention, at least like maybe for us talking about it, is Mike McDaniels. I mean, the new coach has done a terrific job, and maybe he's like one of these offensive whizzes that nobody was talking about, you know?
Yeah. Casey, who do you think's winning that game?
Buffalo.
Going away.
Going away.
It's
No
interesting.
problems. No issues. No situations. Buffalo will take care of their business.
I mean, as long as Waddle and Tyreek Hill can still come back about 10 yards on a Tua throw, then they're going to be okay, I think.
There you go.
But, that's really the only dominant game in those early games. The rest of them are filled with some mid-tier teams and some, like, Lions-Vikings may be an interesting game, even though both those teams are 1-1. No one's really picking either team to go to the Super Bowl, but both teams look like they have a shot, an outside shot, at making a wild card this year. They'll be playing each other. That's a good early game that we'll be able to see. Chiefs-Colts, we mentioned earlier. Obviously, the Colts 0-1-1 desperately need a win right now. Can they get it? You don't really know. Pittman is still undecided on whether he's going to play or not.
Leonard's out. So Leonard, they've already ruled out Shaq Leonard.
Is that guy going to play at all this year?
And
some
coming
point,
off
maybe.
the back, I guess they said the story out of Indy today was that he knows his body and he just doesn't feel like he's ready to go. And that's, so usually the players want to go, but
I wouldn't want to
he's
play
just
against
not
the
ready.
Chiefs either, especially if I played on defense, to be honest.
You got a couple of Garbo games as well. You got Texans-Bears. That should be pretty feudal game right there. And then Saints-Panthers. I know the Saints had a little bit of hype coming into the season, but, Jameis Winston with 4 fractures in his back, he might have one of these situations like Justin Herbert over the next few weeks where you just don't know game to game what kind of shape Jameis is going to be in. Panthers in need of a win as well. Baker Mayfield looking for his first with the Panthers.
But at least the Saints can play Andy Dalton versus Chase Daniel that the Chargers would have to play.
Do you think Andy Dalton's much better at this point?
I think he's better than Chase Daniel in terms of the backup quarter. Like if the Jags were going against Andy Dalton, I'd be like, I don't think they would have dropped it 4 points in the spread. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's capable.
Used to be. I don't know if he's still capable. It's been a while for Andy Dalton.
Did Baker win the Heisman?
Yeah.
He did, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. He's definitely in the commercials, 100%.
Yeah, so you got Jameis, you got a Heisman matchup here. Like kind of, as you would say, it's a low-key Heisman matchup.
It's definitely low-key, but I think Andy Dalton's playing in the game. Like, I think that's real life. So it's like, yes.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, Jameis has pain all over. I don't know if you
okay. So he is playing. All right. I thought you said he could play, but he is playing.
It's a Justin Herbert situation with Jameis. It's the exact same thing, but I don't think he plays.
Yeah. Yeah, 4 fractures in the back does not sound like something you want to mess with.
That doesn't sound good.
There's pain all over.
And hey, listen, guys. For Jameis, this is like it's a big season,
Oh, yeah.
It's off to somewhat of a slow start. I mean, he's just okay early on anyway through 2 games, and now you have this, and this derails it for a bit. It's just a massive season because people will give up on him soon. He had a chance here, and I'm not saying it's done, but I think he has so much to prove this season to maybe parlay that into a starting job for years to come in the NFL. He's going to get shoved to the back burner sooner than later if he's not healthy or doesn't perform well.
Well, last offseason, he did sign a 2-year deal, but the team can get out after this year. So it really
they got
is
the
a
Red Rocket just waiting to play.
It's a giant year for Jameis Winston. But forget the early games. How about some of these later in the day games? You got our guy Mac going against the Ravens, Pat's Ravens, 1 o'clock. You got my Jets taking on the Bengals at 0-2 in desperate need of a win. Who would have thought the Jets would have a better record than the Bengals at this point? But the game I'll have my eye on, one we mentioned earlier, Raiders-Titans, both at 0-2, both fighting for their season in Week 3.
Yeah, I think that game is really wild because I don't think the Titans are very good, and there's no evidence that they are good based off what they've shown us these first 2 weeks. But Vrabel knows how to win. And these are games where Vrabel and Tennessee over the last handful of years, they've won this game right here. Like, they know how to win this game. But I think you're facing a desperate team in Vegas because they cannot go to 0-3. Like, here's the deal. The Titans actually can go to 0-3 and still, rescue themselves in this division.
Yeah.
They can't go to 0-3 in Vegas because they're way behind it. So it's a way bigger game, in my opinion, for the Raiders, especially since they've put all this stuff into this offseason. And how about the former Patriot coach matchup, right, or former Patriot tie matchup with Vrabel and McDaniels?
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting game to watch. Eagles Commanders doesn't sound sexy up front, but big rivals, and the game is in Washington. You got to give them a fighting chance on that one. Then you got Jags Chargers. Then another game that I'm pretty interested in. Guys I picked to go pretty far this year at 1-1, the Cardinals versus last year's Super Bowl, I guess they weren't champions, challengers, the Rams. But both teams 1-1. Both teams in the NFC West, so you know they're going to play that game tight.
I sneaky feeling like the Cardinals found something in that later part of that game, and they certainly did in that game, but that might carry over.
You think it sparked them a little bit?
Yeah, and I'm just not sure about the Rams, guys. Like, the Rams got off to a great start. Atlanta's terrible, and then almost blew it, you know? So, I don't know. I'm not sold on the Rams right now, as there's still a little bit of a hangover, and I just would not be surprised to see the Cardinals win this game.
Yeah, on the Rams, it seems like the defense is what's really dragging the team down right now, right? I mean, they lost Von Miller. They gave up so many points to the Falcons, especially late in the game. They should have had it locked up.
Yeah, but some of that was on a punt block. Casey, I think the problem right now, like Stafford can be really good, but they don't know how to use their other guys right now. And Stafford's throwing picks. Like, he led the league with Trevor last year in interceptions. I don't think people know that or bring that up because of what they did and they won the Super Bowl. But he and Trevor led the league in interceptions. And he's throwing picks once again to start the year.
Well, he's a gunslinger from back in the day.
Yeah, I think they got a lot of problems, though. Like, I think the defense is sus, and he is throwing interceptions. So, yeah, if you're not scoring at will when you're throwing interceptions, it's a problem. Now, granted, the Falcons, you probably should have taken care of your business, but when you play Buffalo, it's, everyone has a tough time. So, they need to beat Arizona for my money. I think that they probably will because I don't believe in Arizona.
It's in Arizona, by the way.
That's fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it is in Arizona?
You want to put it on the board?
That the Rams will beat the Cardinals?
I'm taking the Cardinals, straight up.
Sure, I will put it
on
the board. He got excited about putting it on the board where you just picked the Super Bowl champs to win.
I know. They just won the Super Bowl. Like,
They are not them. Not anymore. Not that I believe.
Kyler Murray's definitely not him, though. He didn't study, bro. He doesn't know the defense.
How do you know what he's studying? My man looked like he studied last week.
No, he did not in the first half.
Late night crams.
No, it looked like the coaches studied at halftime and said, "Hey, Kyler, bro, why don't you do this instead?" He's like, "Cool, coach," because I didn't see it.
Doing the
they studied in between the third and the fourth quarter. That's when they studied.
He threw one amazing throw that, by the way, A.J. Green dropped, and they didn't overturn.
Then you got a later game on Fox as well. I don't know if it's going to be here locally because we have the Jaguars. We have the Jaguars on CBS. Right, at 4:05. Over on Fox and other markets, you're going to have MVP favorite Geno Smith for the Seahawks taking on the Falcons. That game's not exciting anybody. Packers-Bucks looks good on paper. You think the Packers at 1-1 may have a shot to win this game, especially Tom Brady has an injured finger. He says he's okay and he's going to play, but if they're talking about a Brady injury, obviously it means something.
Yeah, by the way, we're going to get a lot of phone calls and emails on Sunday afternoon at the station. I got to double check on this, but I don't think we're showing that Packers-Bucks game because most weeks you don't show a game against the Jags game in the local market.
Is that a rule or an Action News rule?
No, I think that's a rule.
No. Listen, this is what I always say. 4 o'clock game, right?
Yes.
So, so I think we're going to have the phone ringing off the hook, most likely. And so I'm just warning you now, though I'll double check on it. There are some exceptions. Like the opening weekend was an exception where you had doubleheader on both at 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, but most of the time, like you'll end up running like a movie or some other program because they protect the local market. And it's an NFL thing, Casey. Like every market would do it.
Yep.
And so, but I think the Jags are the only CBS game. So other markets won't have to do it other than Jacksonville.
Yeah, it's Bengals, Jets on CBS up north and then Jags down here. No, I'm sorry, 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, so I think they're the only 4
o'clock. It is. It's the only 4
game.
o'clock CBS game.
So,
no, yes. I keep saying no. It's yes.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll see. I'll let you know about that. I'll try to find that answer. But don't be surprised if you got to go to a bar or somewhere else if you really want to watch Packers-Bucks because they'll protect the home team there. Hopefully the Jags are putting on such a good show that you want to watch the Jags anyway.
Yeah.
And by the way, just keep in mind, you're going to want to call Action News Jacks and not ESPN 690. And I don't work there anymore, so feel free to call as much as you want. And listen, don't let Brent fool you. He won't be there to take your call either.
Yeah.
He'll be in L.A., So he's not really concerned about it.
I'll be getting the emails. And by the way, on Monday in our show, on Monday afternoon, I'm sure we'll have a voicemail to play on the air for you.
Yeah, we will. We'll have to just,
when you call, tell them Casey Kurtz sent you.
There you go. Do that. They'll love that. They still love me downstairs. Hey, by the way, talking about people not doing their homework before a football game, they just showed Baker Mayfield at the President's Cup. So,
no. Poor Baker.
Yeah.
He's having a rough year.
He definitely looked like he did not want to be interviewed. Like he was just trying to blend in.
Yeah.
But no, they stuck the mic right in his face. Couldn't hear it, but I can tell you he looked less than thrilled. But it was indeed him.
If I worked there, I'd need PTO days as well. 2 more games on the slate real quick. You got San Francisco and Denver, which, sounded before the season like it would have been a really good game. And then both these teams kind of playing slow to start the year. You got Jimmy G in his first game. Russell Wilson still trying to get his feet under him. Game is in Denver. And then the Monday night game, which again in the preseason looked like it would have been a rout. Cowboys-Giants. Giants at home, 2-0. Cowboys 1-1. Guys, Mike McCarthy, breaking news, announced in his press conference today, there is no quarterback controversy. When Dak comes back, he is the starter.
No surprise. But they can win with Cooper Rush. They proved it last week. That was an impressive win by the Cowboys. And yet it still feels like every game's important. I mean, can you imagine if the Giants go to 3-0?
It would be the most insane record of the season so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, it would be.
That was a team I definitely thought would be a bottom 5 team in the league this year.
No doubt. All right, get us out of here, Aaron.
Yeah, let's go to break. Casey, hit that bed. When we come back, more talking to do. Lots of stuff coming up. We got the Mount Rushmore of outfielders in baseball. Who would you be putting up there? Big debate on the way. College and pro picks as well. And then, of course, all the high school football content you can shake a stick at. It's Friday. Brent and Friends will be back after this.
And on Fridays on ESPN 690, they were brought to you by Nimnick Buick GMC. New inventory on the lot, ready for delivery. Isn't that good news for Nimnick Buick GMC and for you? Go to nimnickbuickgmc.com or, of course, visit the location on Phillips Highway. And they've got truckloads of new GMC Sierras like the one I'm sitting on. Canyons, Yukon XLs, Acadias, and Terrains, plus new Buick Encore and Encore GX, Envisions, and Enclaves. Never pay over MSRP at Nimnick Buick GMC. Reserve yours today online at nimnickbuickgmc.com. Have you been looking for a new truck like mine or SUV, but just can't find the vehicle that is right for you? Nimnick Buick GMC has new inventory arriving daily, and like I mentioned, new inventory on the lot. Nimnick Buick GMC, Phillips Highway, just south of I-295, to order that new vehicle you have been dreaming of. And make sure you hit nimnickbuickgmc.com. They present our Fridays and our game of the week, nimnickbuickgmc.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
Well, that ding-dong doorbell company is at it again, admitting to giving out customers video footage over 11 times without the customer's knowledge or consent. This is outrageous. It's inexcusable. It's a breach of your privacy, freedom, and security. When a security company teams up with big tech companies, it means a privacy invasion of your home. It means your information is being sold and distributed without your knowledge. SafeTouch is on your side. SafeTouch equipment is installed by pros. SafeTouch doesn't collaborate with any big tech company. SafeTouch keeps your family secure without invading your privacy. SafeTouch allows you complete control of all your video footage and security, and you can be sure with SafeTouch that your doorbell and camera footage is safe and controlled by you and only you. Choose SafeTouch to fight crime and keep your privacy at the same time. Call SafeTouch today and check out what real security is all about and get free installation when you do. SafeTouch Security, doing what others can't for over 35 years. Call 888-723-8682 or visit safetouch.com. State license License EF233.
All offers are with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Jeep Adventure Days.
Get the perfect vehicle for your next adventure and save at your #1 hometown dealer, Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Bay Meadows. Drive a brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee or Wrangler. On or off-road, you just can't get better than that. Having trouble deciding between a new SUV or pickup truck? Gladiator puts the best of both into one great vehicle. Jacksonville, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, I-295 and Bay Meadows.
Tobacco-Free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you never come back to smoke. I'll never come back, never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I've been telling you about iCryo now for the last 6 months. Elevate your lifestyle and save while you do it. If you listen to ESPN 690, you can get a day pass to iCryo in St. Johns County for just $69. Tell them ESPN 690 sent you, and you can pick 3 of the 6 lifestyle services: whole body cryo, local cryo, compression, red light therapy, infrared sauna, cryofacial. Just has to be used all in one day, 3 out of 6 for $69. It's a heck of a deal for listening to ESPN 690 at iCryo.com.
Hurry! Energy savings event at Lowe's. Save energy and save money on select major appliances, including Whirlpool energy efficient appliances. You can also save with the smart thermostat. Right now, select Google Nest Learning thermostats are $60 off. Plus, find other great energy saving items throughout the store and check your eligibility for rebates in your area to save even more. Don't miss the energy savings event at Lowe's. Selection varies by location. Exclusions apply. Visit Lowe's.com for details. Valid through 9/28.
Never paint your house again.
Hey Jay, at Rhino Shield, we talk about protecting your home from the harsh Florida weather because we have seen what happens to those cracks when they get ignored.
Stucco cracks are more than just superficial. Without repair, they can allow water to get into the walls, causing water damage, mold, and even wood rot.
And Jay, some of our customers have been tied up in litigation for up to 4 years trying to be made whole again.
Rhino Shield your home now before you have to go to litigation, and you'll never have to paint again.
And after 22 years in business, our customers continue to trust us to protect and beautify their homes with the most scientifically advanced coating.
With our help, you can have pride in your home again. Call us for 1 year same as cash, 25% off, and a 25-year warranty.
Call 904-519-5055 or visit us at rhinoshieldjax.com. And remember, with Rhino Shield, you'll never have to paint again. Rhino Shield.
The Florida Theater hosts Yes, the Close to the Edge 50th Anniversary Tour on October 13th. ESPN 690 has your tickets. Log on to ESPN690.com and register to win tickets to see Yes 50th Anniversary Tour honoring longtime Yes drummer Alan White.
All his actions, Mike Tomlin's actions, lead to Mitch Trubisky getting a long run. I mean, he took every rep with the first team dating back to April. He was named a team captain. Like, I don't know how else he can spell it out for people that he's going to give this guy a longer leash than just any bridge guy.
That is Jeremy Fowler from ESPN talking about Pittsburgh, and we've got a Pickett and Trubisky debate. How about Odell Beckham Jr. and Pickens catch debate?
Yeah.
The problem is I got about a minute and a half, and I don't want to debate it right now.
Brent, you got much less than that, buddy.
All right, so not even. So what I do want to, we didn't say this, I tweeted it during the last segment, but Shaq Griffin did hit the injury report for the Jags. So the Jags finally have
the
somebody.
streak is dead.
Yeah, on the injury report. They might have just purposely put him there just to break, just to not get unlucky.
Just to make the Chargers feel like they're included.
Yeah.
Look, us too.
We got one guy. Yeah.
But, either way, Mike Williams is going to be a handful, right?
Yes.
And so it'll be interesting to watch this hip injury from Shaq Griffin gets put on the report. Must have happened in practice today. And so we'll see how he feels if he'll play. They do have Darius Williams, who has experience on the outside. So the injury report continues to be maybe the big storyline going into this game, Chargers and the Jaguars. All right, coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, we will talk about that Pittsburgh situation. I can't believe everybody's clamoring for Pickett already, to be honest.
I know,
I'm
idiots.
I'm going to be on Casey's side on this. I can't believe.
Marno.
I don't understand what's going on. But,
just not intelligent.
We're live at our game of the week. Trinity Christian hosts Columbia tonight at 7:30. Our Blitz scoreboard coverage starts at 9. Our Friday Night Blitz at 10:30. And our Friday is presented by Nindek Buick GMC. And we'll be back in the 4 o'clock hour with much, much more. Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. We appreciate our good friends at CGC Water Treatment. They were just part of our Dream 18 golf tournament once again. And this year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands, on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumbing with all your plumbing needs as well. 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Now you can take advantage of their $75 drain cleaning special, too. Call for details. CGC Water Treatment, proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer. And I'm a proud customer of CGC Water. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Ready to swoop in the fall of 2022? The UNF Ospreys are ready with a lot of momentum on campus. New improvements at UNF Arena with basketball season right around the corner and tickets already on sale. The fall schedule underway in volleyball and men's and women's soccer, also men's and women's cross country. Get the latest news, schedules, results, and information on tickets for all things Ospreys at unfospreys.com. Join the Osprey Club, attend a game or a match. Be a part of the momentum at the University of North Florida right now at unfospreys.com.
Go Tuckin', the most fun way to experience the best of Jacksonville. Whether it's a Jacksonville sightseeing tour in an open-air tuk-tuk or private transportation in their luxury Mercedes Party limo, Go Tuckin' is top-rated. Enjoy an exclusive Jacksonville public art tour, a residential architecture and history tour, or a Jack's Urban Core Brewery tour. Go Tuckin' offers locally guided tours for your next company outing, bachelor or bachelorette party, or a simple group outing with friends and family. Visit GoTuckn.com. Go Tuckin' of Jacksonville to schedule a Tuckin' good time today.
It's going to be a busy month at Best Bet Orange Park. The Greater Orange Park Open Tournament is back. This $500 no-limit hold'em tournament will be happening on Saturday, September 24th, with $120 satellites starting on September 21st. With plenty of parking and a safe and friendly environment, you'll see why Best Bet Orange Park was awarded the Best of Play in event, entertainment, and sushi. Open from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. Monday through Friday, and 24 hours on the weekend. Best Bet Orange Park.
When you download the Home Depot app, taking on big or small projects starts with a tap. It's your pocket-sized toolbox for getting more done. Image search helps you find what you need with a snap. Store mode pinpoints exactly where to go to get what you want while you're at our store. Or just tap to arrange for easy curbside pickup, all from the palm of your hand. It's the app that's made for doing. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're gonna feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Traveling, volunteering, spending time with family. What's your retirement look like? With income planning from Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor can help you grow and protect your wealth. They'll look at your full financial picture and help you create a flexible strategy that considers things like market conditions and healthcare expenses, so you can stop worrying about the future and enjoy whatever comes next. Visit fidelity.com/income planning. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Doug Brown, the Celtics made the decision to suspend coach Ime Udoka for a year after an independent investigation. Gary Washburn of the Boston Globe.
I think they're surprised. I think they're disappointed, and they like Ime Udoka. Ime Udoka is a good coach. He was good to his players. He was hard on his players, but they begin to respond to that. They begin to get used to his style. And so this is a big disappointment for them.
Gary Washburn on Canty and Carlin. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports Udoka's suspension followed his relationship with a female team staffer. The Bills will be without 4 defensive starters for Sunday's game against the Dolphins. Corner Dane Jackson, safety Micah Hyde, and defensive lineman Jordan Phillips and Ed Oliver will all be out. Colts linebacker Shaquille Leonard will miss his 3rd straight game to start the season. He's coming off back surgery. The team's 2 top wideouts will play against the Chiefs Sunday. Alec Pierce out of concussion protocol. Michael Pittman Jr. back from a quad injury.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jacks presents Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year 2 pom-pom people.
Casey Kurtz.
Yo! But what are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690.
What is happening on a Friday, everybody? 4 o'clock hour we go here on ESPN 690. Brent Martineau here on the truck, on the back of the tailgate, live at Trinity Christian Academy for our game of the week here on ESPN 690, CBS 47, and Fox 30. That's our Action Sports Jacks platforms. We'll have Blitz Scoreboard Show at 9, Friday Night Blitz at 10:30, and we'll have this one covered front to back as Columbia out of Lake City comes to town riding a 2-game win streak. They're 2-2 now after a slow start, and Trinity Christian is 4-0 and has some of the top talent in the area at running back, at quarterback, and a lot of other places. We will talk more about this football game with Kevin Sullivan coming up at Football at 5. Brent Martineau here, Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz back in the studios. And who did it better is the question of the last, 18 hours. George Pickens with an incredible catch. And Odell Beckham Jr. obviously was what you guys would say the OG.
Yeah, the OG one-handed grab.
Whose was better?
Oh, Pickens was way better. Pickens was better because he had a turn at this weird angle. He was kind of like falling behind the defender, almost out of bounds, reaching behind his head and back with the hand. Odell was just kind of falling backwards with the hand up. Pickens was a little more contorted at a weird angle. The ball was coming across his body overhead. I don't think he can make that catch again 9 out of 10 times.
Casey?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the menace to society himself, George Pickens.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was a better catch. As soon as it happened, I said it to Amanda. I was like, that was better than Odell's. And Amanda was like, what did Odell do? I was like, what?
If we polled America, I don't think you guys would be in the
majority?
Advantage of the poll. Yeah, the majority. That's the word I was looking at.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I think
Odell gave him a shout out.
He did.
Yeah, on Twitter. Yeah,
and it was.
So I guess Odell would be with us. I don't know.
You know what's pretty wild is Aaron's pretty good at describing things.
Is that wild?
Yeah, like that's. Like,
I'm a professional
fights,
broadcaster, my friend.
Food. Contorted catches.
Contorted catches. You
Those
like the word contorted.
those one videos that really popped on Instagram. His description of what was happening in those.
So I'll ask the Trinity guys who are walking by. Kyle Boylston. Hey, better catch, Odell Beckham Jr. or George Pickens? You watch it last night?
It's like instant fan reaction out here.
Yeah, see, hey, he agrees with you. George Pickens.
Pickens. That's where it's
Boylston
at,
can
man.
catch a pass, too, by the way, and track a fly ball out in center field. So
forget about
Pickens, or what are we doing? We're doing an unofficial poll here. There's
Unofficial
two
right now.
people.
We got one vote in.
You got to fight if we have a tie, okay?
Brent's gonna get arrested for making high school
Pickens,
kids fight.
They probably already have to look up who Odell Beckham Jr. is.
Did we get another vote for Pickens?
We did.
Yeah,
we did.
You
So
got the speaker
we're 4-0.
going? Do they know I'm clapping for him?
Nah, I don't have the speaker going.
You are
I'm
a
by myself, so I figured I wouldn't. Good luck tonight, guys. So Pickens' catch was incredible. Here's my problem with the Pickens catch. Why did he try to do it again in the end zone? He should have caught that ball.
Yeah, two's better than one.
I mean, that was such a bad effort. And then the corner, who was 23 there, that was a heck of an effort. He just put his foot out of bounds later in the game. But you saw that play, Casey, right? I mean, that was a good throw by your guy, Trubisky.
It was.
Well, it wasn't an unbelievable throw, but it
Was
wasn't
it
as bad as he
unbelievable?
made.
No.
Well,
No,
it wasn't,
that was a good throw.
It wasn't as bad as he made it look, you know?
Yeah,
because he should have gone up and caught it.
Yeah, he really did his quarterback no favors there, and that's a common theme on the Steelers. If you watch that game last night, there's a lot of throws that should have been completed. The dudes are dropping. There's zero effort. Corners are making amazing plays, and that's just one of them. You got to try harder if you're George Pickens right there, but again, I'm not mad at him. Go for 2 one-handers. You know, it is what it is. Either way, they weren't covering the spread, so what do I care?
Maybe old Mitchell just throws a bad ball.
No, that's not it at all, actually. He throws a really good ball. He just has very lazy football players around him.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
This was a little bit of a conversation today amongst some friends. Are the Jaguars going
You have
to
them?
regret, not many, are the Jaguars going
Hell,
to
we named the show
regret
Brent Friends.
paying for, that's why I named it that, are the Jaguars going to regret not picking Pickens?
A couple of people in Jags fan world over on Twitter, Jags Twitter, were saying that. So, I mean, it exists. I don't know that it's going to be widespread, though, especially if the Jags have a good year.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Because
Like, if
you're happy with your wide receivers right now. Like, I get it if you had a room full of bums and no one was doing anything, but we like this wide receiver group now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, who are you not going to have? Devin Lloyd? Like, I'm not okay with that.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, now he got picked like 52nd overall. Could they have jumped up one more time and potentially gone up and get Pickens? I would say, like, that part of it, Devin Lloyd looks good. And Devin Lloyd, to be honest with you, I told these same people today, I said, hey, I think it's the sleepiest story going right now, maybe around the Jags. This is a guy that missed the entire month of camp. He's a rookie. He hardly played at all. He steps in game one, first half, not so great. Makes a play in the second half, has 11 tackles. He's grading out through 2 games now as like the top defender, I think, against the run in football as a rookie. And he had a good game, a very good game last week. I mean, you're talking about a big step and with a guy that has limited reps so far at the NFL level. I wonder where he's going to be, guys, in like 6 weeks, Devin Lloyd. So he could be a fantastic player, and I think he's on his way to doing that. And I think I'd second what you guys just said. Where is Pickens play if he's here? Like, Kirk is the guy. They spent money already on Zay Jones before the draft, right? So it's not like they did that after the draft.
Yeah.
Marvin Jones was already coming back, and he's on a $10 million deal.
And was Trevor's favorite target last year, so you know he's going to get some throws.
And at the time, they had LaVisca and didn't know they were going to trade him. They might have been trying, but they didn't know. And so, I mean, Pickens doesn't fit. Like, I can't blame the Jags for not picking Pickens. And he was not a slam dunk guy. There was a reason why he dropped to 52. Now, I liked him, actually. I thought he was going to be really good. But what the hell do I know? I mean, I can say that, and my job's not on the line.
True.
So I think I don't give the Jags that hard of a time, but I guess to answer my own question on Pickens. Now, he could be very good. But the Jags next year, I think, is the year they'll be in the market for a wide receiver early in the first, second rounds. But right now, it's hard to complain about what they get at the wideout position.
Now, I was actually talking about this in the chat yesterday with some of our viewers and listeners. Don't you think Zay Jones has an inside track at that number 2 spot for next year? If
Well, of
they don't bring
course.
Marvin back.
Yeah, of course. But I think what you'd like to do as you get better, and no disrespect to Zay, because I think he's off to a heck of a start.
Yeah.
But here comes the disrespect.
Well, I mean, I think you want to get somebody that can even be better. Like you want to upgrade it.
Of course.
So like if you can draft, let's just say the Jags have a decent year, they're drafting 18, right? And they missed the playoffs, but they're drafting 18. I think that would miss the playoffs. Actually, it'd be right on the verge.
Yeah, right there in the bubble.
And so you go get maybe the second best wide receiver in the draft coming out. Well, you hope that guy's going to be better than Zay Jones. Now, Christian Kirk, by that time, hopefully has emerged as, I mean, this dude is legit, right? Because he certainly looks like he's headed that way. And now look at your receiving core. So, I mean, that's what you're hoping for. But Zay Jones is a part of this thing, man. They signed him to a 3-year, $24 million deal. He's off
He's
to
a good
nice
player
start.
now. He can
He's
get
a
open.
speed guy. Yeah. So,
Here's the thing with the roster that makes me think that I don't think they're burning a first-round pick, much less an early round pick, on a wide receiver. You've got a couple of things that might require a little addressing, whether it be on that offensive line or even at the tight end room if you don't bring Evan Ingram back, if maybe Dan Arnold you decide isn't the guy you're going to bring up, or Farrell or Manhurts or any of these guys. You know, maybe you go out and get a tight end if there's a highly rated one, highly ranked one, or maybe you fill out that offensive line, or maybe in the secondary if you have an opportunity to upgrade there. All of those, to me at least, before you go looking at wide receivers.
yeah, there's a lot of places to go. And Jags have, pretty good nucleus right now, but a lot of places to go. Okay, one last part from last night's game. Everybody's calling for Pickett now. And I got to be honest with you. I hate to say it because we give Casey a hard time. I thought Trubisky was really good last night. He made some throw. He had the play to Pickens, and Deontay Johnson drops the ball, goes right through his hands. That was a beautiful throw. The throw down at the end of the game, the Freiermuth, holy cow, that was good.
Yeah.
He made some plays. Like, they didn't help him out. Nothing about that game, to me, screamed, oh, my gosh, they got to get Pickett in here right now. I think it's crazy talk right now.
It wasn't a disaster for Trubisky, but he's certainly not playing great. Like 20 of 32, 207. I saw some of those throws. I understand the drops and stuff like that, but this is pretty much who he is every game. 20 of 32, 207. You don't see him much better or much worse than that. So, I mean, as long as you're fine with that and you can win other ways, then fine. But clearly the Steelers at 1-2 are struggling to find those ways.
Casey?
Why'd you
You're
take
just
him out?
moaning and you're just groaning over there.
Yeah, it really is.
Why would you take him out, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you could just find receivers that could catch the football, that would be a start. You know what I'm saying? They're not overrated. They're not underrated. They shouldn't even be rated if they're dropping the football. Like, good throw after good throw, just not making the play. We need better play from the receivers, by the way. We need better play from the offensive line. What are those bums doing?
Hey, you really need
Great
Najee
question.
Harris to show up to the game at some point as well.
Where is Najee Harris? Who is calling the plays? What are we doing in Pittsburgh? You do everything but change the quarterback. He's not the problem. It's the other 10 guys.
Maybe one of these Stiller Yinzers has the answer. There are a lot of them living here. 904-362-9901 if you want to yell at Casey Kurtz about Najee Harris.
You can do it. Hey, I've got new news in. Wait till you see how I tweeted this, too. This is crafty here. But Justin Herbert.
Don't hurt your shoulder. Pat yourself
Yeah,
on the
I know.
back
I'm
there.
patting myself on the back. I was actually kind of like what I just did there.
All right.
But Justin Herbert just talked to the media. I guess he talks on Fridays. That's kind of odd for me. But he says his ribs feel good. He'll be a game-time decision on Sunday. So they're playing coy here.
Yeah.
I think they know. He knows if he's playing or
I bet
not.
he plays.
And back to the story. See, I don't think so. I'm leaning toward he doesn't. And back
So's
to
Vegas,
the story of the top of the hour, which I don't want to dismiss. We got to keep reminding folks, if you're just jumping in, the big story right now on a Friday is out of practice today for the Chargers this afternoon. Justin Herbert was not taking the first-team reps. He was not throwing. Chase Daniel was taking the first-team reps. And there's some other injuries, like Lindsley, the center, not out there. Keenan Allen wasn't doing individual drills while the media was out there. And J.C. Jackson wasn't either. So the injuries are significant for the Chargers. But the biggest story is Herbert. This felt for the first time to me that, he might not play. The Vegas line dropped from 7 to, 3 or 3.5. They know what they're talking about, right? I mean, they usually know, and so I think I don't think he's playing on Sunday.
But it's not
That's
like they
guess.
have like a red phone direct line to the Chargers front office, and the Chargers front office is like, hey, Vegas, we're not going to play him, so just that line. I think they're just hedging their bets. I think so far in this NFL season, the house has been taking it in the keister right here with a boot. They have been getting ruined by some of these games, and so I think they're
Everybody but me.
hedging their bet. Yeah, everyone but Casey is winning this year.
Hey, by the way, real quick, this has nothing to do with anything, but I think it's funny. So the Colts injury report popped up on my phone. You know, Shaq Leonard practiced in full every day and is still out. So don't try to sit here and tell me that this isn't a business decision. They're playing the Colts, or they're playing the Chiefs, and he's like, you know what? I need a week. I practice in full, but I need a week.
He's taking a mental health day.
But, Casey, I could see that a little bit with the back, too. Like, you can do all the individual work. You can do all that stuff because you're not hitting anybody in practice. But he obviously doesn't feel comfortable yet, with that back to hit, I guess.
The man's name, the man's nickname is literally the Maniac. I don't think you're talking the Maniac out of playing a team because they're scary. I don't think that happens.
One other note about Justin Herbert. This is the official designation now is questionable for Justin Herbert on Sunday. So we'll continue to monitor the story, but it's a massive story as the Jags head out west tomorrow afternoon. And we'll play on CBS 47 at 4 o'clock on Sunday against the L.A. Chargers. Casey, take us to a baseball story, will you?
Sure thing, Brent. Not a problem. I was on Twitter today, and I saw this soundbite come up from Mike Trout. I will play it for you in full. It is 15 full seconds, and then I'll explain what we're doing.
I'm gonna go with like guys that are in the league now. It's gonna be I gotta be on there for sure.
Of course. Yeah.
I gotta go Judge.
Okay.
Judge. I'm gonna go Mookie, and I'm gonna go Hart.
So the context there is a reporter asked Mike Trout, he said, hey, who's your Mount Rushmore of outfielders in baseball? And he said, well, I'm going to do the current players, in which he stumbled upon himself, which how could he not be on there, obviously. Aaron Judge, Bryce Harper, and Mookie Betts. So that's what he came up with. So now I'm being asked to provide information to the show. So I texted in and said, hey, this seems like a good topic. It feels like it's something we could do. It has expanded a bunch of different ways.
You sound like you're giving an interview to police officers, like a crime has just been committed.
Imagine a producer of the show
giving an idea.
Information.
God forbid.
So that's where this
We're
topic
really
comes
going
from.
out of the box here on
man.
ESPN 690.
OSHA's going to call up and be like, what did you ask this guy to do?
There you go. You better watch out. So the point of that is I guess we're going to do some sort of Mount Rushmore of baseball outfielders.
Now, in your context, because all of a sudden I got 55 texts
Didn't
from
reply
Aaron.
to one of them. Did not reply to one of them.
I started freaking out.
Aaron was like, is this today's outfielders or all time?
There are just so many names. It's not just that, too. It's like, are we talking about people who can play the specific position amazing, or are we talking offense, too? There are a ton of outfielders who are all-time offensive players who are garbage defensively. Are they on the Rushmore? Do they have to be the total package?
I think it's whatever you want.
Yeah, because I don't think, to be honest with you, Aaron, I don't think that defensively, nobody's going to alone be on that list defensively.
Well, because Casey's sitting here talking about, we'll name a top center fielder and then a top right field. Well, when I think about the position rather than outfielder, I think about people who play the position. That's got nothing to do with hitting, at least in my head. But all right.
I like what Trout did there because he actually narrowed it to today. And by the way, it'd be hard to argue with what he said. Casey, who else would even slip in there? Soto's out there.
Soto plays outfield, yes. I don't think you're arguing with it, though, to be honest.
It's tough to argue with. I mean, is Harper? Harper's probably the one guy you could argue with.
My question is,
those two
why
MVPs are really hard to argue with.
My question is,
I'm just saying, he's the one guy you could take off potentially.
Why would he only do today's players when those people are people he plays with, and people can get offended for being left off the list? Why not do it about the dead guys?
Well, because he was asked a question like right there. It wasn't like he was given a homework assignment.
That's
I mean,
true.
it's because really it's harder. If you ask me this question right now without looking at, I'm going to leave 55 guys out of this list. Right?
That's a good point.
But I'll just looked it up. I mean, there's so many. Is Ken Griffey Jr. on the list?
All
Roberto
time.
Clemente. You talk about
Hank
strong
Aaron,
arm and-
Jackie Robinson, Kirby Puckett, Trish Speaker.
I don't have any of those people on mine.
Well, we're doing
Frank?
today players. Are we doing the Trout route, or are we
Ted
going all
Williams.
time?
I
Ted
don't know.
Heard of
Williams.
him.
How do you
Mickey
leave Ted
Mantle.
Williams off this
Heard of
list?
I don't have Mickey on mine.
Joe DiMaggio?
Nope.
Yeah. Ty Cobb.
Nope.
Stan Musial.
Did we say Hank Aaron yet?
You said Hank. Willie Mays, by the way, heard of him?
Who's that guy?
Barry Bonds.
Frank
yeah,
Robinson?
he'd probably be on it.
Anyone hear of Frank Robinson? Reggie Jackson?
Oh, and Casey wouldn't have this guy on the list, but, well, technically Babe Ruth.
Is this the
Casey
bit? I'm
hates
so
Babe
confused
Ruth.
on what's happening here.
Casey hates Babe Ruth.
I do. He's overrated.
What about Tony Gwynn? Do you hate Tony Gwynn? Great outfielder.
I like Tony, but he didn't make the cut.
Great hitter.
Yeah.
Who's on your
he
list?
probably would make the cut.
Who's on your list, Case?
So for left field, we got Barry Bonds. Center field, we got Mike Trout. Right field, we got Clemente. And then as like a backup, that can kind of fill in anywhere, I'll go with Willie Mays.
And I'm not saying that the guy I'm about to say is better or worse than any of these guys. I'm just saying, how do you have a list like this without a guy like Ichiro Suzuki?
Love Ichiro.
Who gets 3,000 hits in the majors after he's already done it in Japan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ichiro. Doesn't
Like
make
maybe
the
the best baseball player of all time.
It is possible. Yeah.
And he's not even on the list.
Does not make the cut. I love Ichiro. I have a jersey, actually.
Dave Winfield, involved in one of the biggest pigeon murders of all time?
I'm not. Dave Winfield does
Dave
not make the
Winfield
list. No.
Dave Winfield doesn't sniff the list, and it's too bad you even brought him up. Now, Dave Winfield's one of the best
Red Sox guy.
The best athletes of all time.
Ricky Henderson?
He could be on that list. Dave Winfield gets left out of that.
Yeah, no one really talks about Winfield.
No,
That was a
'cause
dead
I
ball
think he
era.
got drafted. Did he get drafted in basketball too?
Yes.
And he could have been, I think,
Football,
in NFL.
Yes, he's a
Or
giant,
AFL. It would've
giant
been
human being. By the way, that reminds me, we were talking to Patrick yesterday about playing football, but he was too tall. He says 6'9". The internet says 6'10". Ed Too Tall Jones, literally his nickname, 6'9".
Yes.
We didn't even think about that guy.
Well, no, I did, but I mean that's like an exception. It's just not the norm. You don't find too many 6'9" guys in the NFL. Like Ed Too Tall Jones, you remember because he's like the only one.
And it's his name.
When he signs his autograph, he puts too tall?
Does he? He
Yes,
should.
sir.
I mean, would you know Ed Jones if he didn't put too tall?
No, rumor has it, actually, when I got his autograph that day, someone said, hey, that's Ed Jones. I said, who? They said, that really tall guy. I said, oh, too tall. Yeah,
You know
All
who
right.
else gives a lot of autographs? One of the best left fielders of all time, Pete Rose.
Pete Rose does give a
Leaving
lot
Pete
of
Rose
autographs.
off the Mount Rushmore?
I did, yes. I replaced him with Barry Bonds.
So many of those guys played multiple positions,
Yeah,
at that
like
time.
Yastrzemski, yeah.
But even outfield, infield. I
Like
feel
third base,
Didn't
left
Pete
field.
Rose
kinda
play a
deal.
lot of third base?
He did. He played a little third.
Like, I actually remember Pete Rose. I think of Pete Rose more as at third base. Yeah, look, Rose spent less than 40% of his career in the outfield. See, I wouldn't put him in the category then.
He still played multiple years there.
Played first, second, and third base. But, yeah, I mean, you can't be the best of all time if you wouldn't live there all the time.
I'm just saying he's one of the best baseball players of all time. If he played the position, you got to put him in the conversation.
I mean, we got to have parameters around here, people. There's too many guys.
They had to have had played in the last 100 years. Is that a good parameter? Or are we putting Al Simmons
No.
on this list?
No,
Or are we
no,
putting
'cause
Trip
Casey-
Speaker and Ted Williams on this list?
Actually, Casey would go for that because hopefully that would bump out Babe Ruth or something. That's what he would do.
Babe doesn't make the cut either way. This guy was overrated. He's a
Overrated.
bum.
Yeah.
He's a glorified bum.
We need
Come on.
to go to commercial before this gets
He's a
crazier.
bum.
Let's take a break. We will come back. We're live at Trinity Christian. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz, Brent and Friends here on a Friday. Columbia, Trinity Christian, our game of the week, always presented by Nimnick Buick GMC on a Friday on ESPN 690.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Breezy and cooler today under partly sunny skies. Highs only topping out in the low 80s, falling into the 70s by late afternoon. Nice and cool tonight under mostly clear skies, dropping to 60 to 65. And a mostly sunny start to your weekend. It'll be mild tomorrow. Your Saturday high near 85. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where now you can buy like a dealer buys.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997 and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
Who's monitoring your security system? Do you even know? What if I told you you were being monitored in someone's house? Can you imagine someone working from home with all your information? Your family's security is dependent on how fast a worker responds to your alarm from their house. Unbelievable, right? Think again, because the largest company in America is doing just that. And pay attention to their ads. They now have teamed up with big tech. There goes your information and privacy. Plus, you're possibly being monitored from someone's home. Now you know why I have a Safe Touch home security system. The Safe Touch Monitoring Center is right here and fully staffed at their disaster-resistant monitoring station. Have you driven by the other guy's monitoring center? Don't bother. It's empty. Call now and find out what makes the Safe Touch 5-star security and surveillance system so outstanding, and right now get free installation. Don't just assume your family is safe. Know they are safe with Safe Touch Security. Call 888-723-8682 or visit safetouch.com. State license EF233.
See dealer for complete details. Ram Power Days.
If it's not truck month, it should be. Sell us your old pickup and get a brand new Ram from Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington. Bighorn, Classic, Laramie, and Limited. 4x2 and 4x4. We've got a great selection, and this is a great time to buy. Trade in and trade up. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Arlington.
9600 Atlantic Boulevard, across from the Regency Square Mall.
We're ready to deal. Best Bet St. Augustine is now open. Experience the best in poker, simulcast wagering, and fun card games for all levels at Best Bet St. Augustine. Best Bet's newest card room features 49 gaming tables, a state-of-the-art sports bar, delicious wings, a full-service bar, and freshly made sushi. Open from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. Monday through Friday, and 24 hours on the weekends. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311. For promotions, go to bestbetjacks.com.
Koala Insulation.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. That summer heat's right around the corner, and so are those high energy bills. Don't just sweat it out. Do something about it. Call Koala Insulation today for your free evaluation. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Bank how and when you want to with Community First. Get free checking with rewards and free digital tools that make managing your money simple and life simply better. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Call me, Mark Anajar, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
I'm Dr. Stork. Why give your family just ordinary eggs when they can enjoy the best? Eggland's Best. The only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition compared to ordinary eggs. With 6 times more vitamin D, 10 times more vitamin E, 25% less saturated fat, and 38% more lutein. Because the way we care is anything but ordinary. Only Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Hey, welcome back to Trinity Christian We got a big football game tonight, 7:30 kick. It's a beautiful night. Feels like football weather, like fall, wind blowing, kicking game, passing game could be impacted by the amount of wind we're at least getting right now in the high school ranks. It was windy last night for that Pittsburgh-Cleveland game, so I don't know if it'll be like that. But certainly the wind is up for sure. You can see our ESPN 690 flag waving in the background if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz. We call it Brent and Friends. We're on a Friday. The big story, just to keep telling you about if you're just jumping in, is Justin Herbert is questionable for Sunday. Did not practice today while the media was out there, and Chase Daniel has taken all the first-team reps. So that is a massive story to follow with this game coming up on Sunday, with all the positive feelings right now in Jacksonville as they are 1-1. And I said this earlier in the show, how big is this game potentially to get over the hump of 500? Well, 2-1, they would do that for just the third time since 2007 if they're able to pull it off and be 2-1 on this young season through 3 games. They did it in 17. They did it in 18 as well. 18 turned into a disaster. 17 turned into, well, one of the best years in franchise history. So we'll continue to follow along, see what the Jags can do. We'll be there with the team out west in L.A. Against a good Chargers team, but certainly a lot better if they do have Justin Herbert. Reminder, ESPN 690 Game Day Live. We are now every Sunday. Home games, of course, from the Duval House, but away games from the studio with Casey Kurtz and Brian Middleton, and I'll check in from the away games as well. So we have that at 9 a.m. leading up to how long are we going? Till about 1, even though it's a late game? Casey, what's the deal on Sunday?
I guess he still needs to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's a good question. At least a couple hours worth, maybe even more. So we've got that on Sundays, 9 o'clock in the morning, all season long. All right, it's Davoli's House of Cards, picks of the week time. And I think I'm still waiting for Mark. Maybe send them to me.
Can we reset on what the deal is here? There's 4 of us, including Mark Davoli, making picks out. And what does the winner or loser have to do?
All right, so here's the deal. The loser, there's 4 of us. The loser has to buy cards, like a box of cards.
Yep.
That week. And so Mark Davoli actually was 2-4 this week. We were all 3-3. So he bought cards. Those were the ones we opened on Wednesday. And
we got garbage in those packs, by the way. Nothing. Davoli owes us a good pack.
So that was a pretty expensive box, by the way. So he took a run at it. But so essentially, just we're not literally putting them in a bucket, but visualize that they're in a bucket.
All right.
All the good cards that we could at the end of the year, the overall winner gets the choice of keeping the cards, selling the cards, and whatever money they make from it. I mean, Casey, what kind of card could we hit? I mean, could we hit something worth like few $100? Certainly, right?
Certainly.
What's like a big dollar value on a good, like a current card, not something that's
well,
old.
listen, if we keep ending up with optic blasters, we could end up with a downtown, which is the case hit, which is a couple $100.
All right. That's nice.
Depending
that's
on the player, maybe $1,000.
Wow. Which player is worth $1,000?
Trevor Lawrence. Mac Jones.
Oh, okay.
They were worth $1,500
Jamar
in a couple
Chase.
Weeks.
Okay.
And we've had good luck with Jamar Chase on the show.
A little bit.
All right, take us around the pick segment, Casey. Let's go.
I forgot all about this.
Yeah. Anyway, we got
almost
picks
knocked
to
me
make.
off the truck.
Yeah, baby, I was going for it. Should have done it a little louder. If you're on the stream, hate to do it to you, but once again, no music. Just imagine NFL on CBS. You know, that's it. That's what we're playing right now on the actual radio. So, anyway, with that being said, we'll calm down a little bit. We've got a game on ESPN 690, and it is the Clemson Tigers -7 at Wake Forest, obviously +7. Again, right here on ESPN 690. I will start. Wake Forest wins the football game, so if they're getting 7 points, I will take that with it. Wake +7.
I'll go here. I like Wake, too, to cover. I don't know if I like them to win the game, but I do like this to be a really good game. I think a touchdown's a lot, Aaron Schachter, for Clemson.
Yeah. Well, look, Dave Clawson's done great work over at Wake, but I'm going Clemson in this game.
You're a hater. Brent, we got Mark's picks or no?
No, I told you we don't have them in yet, so I'll get them.
Something
must be busy.
Conspiracy afoot.
Something is afoot. Anyway, this was a game I was supposed to do some research on, so I put it on here, but I forgot. We got the Longhorns horns down. Texas, -7 at Texas Tech. Nice little +7. Aaron?
I think the world thinks Texas is going to win this game. I know Texas Tech somewhat underperforming so far this season. I'm going to take Tech in this game, though.
Brad?
Texas Tech, by the way, I heard this recently on like they're better than people think they are.
Yeah, man.
And which is weird because I thought Texas Tech they haven't been good since, didn't Kingsbury go there, right? He's throwing it around. And now they're just good in basketball, it feels like. But I'm going to take Texas anyway. I'll take the Longhorns to get the win going away.
Give me Tech.
Oh!
I guess.
You're with me
Horns
on
up.
this one.
Horns up
for me.
Potentially horns down. That's what we're hoping for. Arkansas, the boys, you know them, you love them, otherwise known as Arkansas. They will also head to Texas. A lot of Texas on this program, apparently. And they will play A&M -2. I don't understand that one fully. Give me Arkansas +2 all day.
Texas A&M trying to get right. I'm going to say the Aggies here. That's, by the way, that's not a big line. I mean, that's a lot of respect for Arkansas. People going to College Station. Only App State goes into College Station and wins.
There you go.
So
That's a
I'll take the
sentence right
Aggies, though, anyway, -2. I think the world roots against Jimbo Fisher, but I think he gets this win.
Yeah. Look, the Razorbacks ranked 10th, 3-0 on the year. I'm with Brent, though. A&M trying to get right. I think they do it this weekend against Arkansas.
That sounds like a game picker-upper for the kid.
It's a possibility.
I'm excited for that. If you're on the stream, just give me 1 second here. Press the
Got
buttons.
NFL music transition. That's what this is.
All right, very good. We move on.
I mean, Casey is producing his tail off this afternoon.
For
He really is.
For 3.5 minutes every week, he produces a segment.
This is my golden segment,
Then he
boys.
goes back to sleep.
We-
Good thing there's no soccer on this afternoon. Good thing the United States played early.
Hold on for the next segment, folks. It was a disaster in Germany this morning for the U.S. men, but nonetheless, we talk about American football. And we start with the Raiders and the Titans, a game much discussed on the program. Raiders -2, Titans at home getting 2 points, and the Raiders kill them. So they cover the 2 points. Give me the Raiders.
Yeah, man. Raiders all day for me as well.
It's a desperate game
I
for
think
the
they
Raiders.
dismantle the Titans in this game.
But there's always like a story in the NFL where everybody's like, oh my goodness, look what's happening. The Raiders might be that story this year with what they spent, what they brought in, and
Maybe.
what they're doing. I hate to pick the Titans, but I'm picking the Titans here. I think they know how to win these games, and not everything can be this good in the AFC South for the Jags.
Jags fan, you better pay attention. Brent Martineau just picked the Titans.
You heard it there. Jacksonville Television's Brent Martineau has picked the Tennessee Titans. Get after him, his mentions, Brent A.S. Jax, and let him know how upset you are with him. President of the Sunshine and Rainbows Club, but is picking the Titans to win a football game, folks. Let's get on him for that one. The Detroit Lions, +6, heading to Minnesota, the team that cursed me last week at Irv Smith. Dang you, Irv Smith. Vikings -6 in that one. Aaron?
I think Vikings get right in this game. They shouldn't have lost last week. They're going to come back and win this week. Even though it's a big game, Lions will play them big and tight. And the Lions obviously have a lot of pressure on them to deliver. I'm going Vikings.
Yeah, 6 points seems like quite a bit for our Lions team that's been pressed at times in these first couple of weeks. I'm going to go Lions, guys. The 6 points is too much for me. I'm uncomfortable with that. I do think the Vikings win, but I'm going to take the Lions.
I'll take the Lions as well, which brings us to the last game of the week. I don't know how we're going to treat this one, though, guys, because when I saw the line, it was 7.
We got to go with the current update.
So 3 or 3.5?
Let's do 3.5.
It's 3.5. Yeah.
3.5 for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So it's -3.5 for the Jaguars? No, for the Chargers.
Yeah.
I'll go first. Who cares if I pick the Titans to win?
Because you're a hater, but go on.
Because I'm drinking the teal Kool-Aid 3 weeks into the year, and I was picking the Jags even if Justin Herbert played.
Well,
I don't care what the line is. I'm picking them. I don't need the points. Straight out, upset bid, winner, week 3, Jacksonville Jaguars, 2-1.
Nice.
Aaron?
You know, there's a lot of pressure to not pick against the Jaguars when you're doing radio in Jacksonville on a sports station.
That's not. Plenty of people have done it over the years.
Tough game, Brent. Tough game. Even without Justin Herbert, that defense of the Chargers is for real. The Jags going out west. I know you don't believe it's a thing. The line has shrunk by more than half. Everything looking at me picking the Chargers, and I'm still going Jags. Let's go.
Oh,
seriously?
Yes.
Come on, pick the Chargers. Be the negative guy. Come on, let's go. What do you say,
Casey, you're in
Casey?
last place. You don't have much choice, buddy. You got to go against it.
This is an easy one to pick on. Could pick up. I mean, they're the favorites. What if Herbert plays after he works out on Sunday morning?
Yeah, what if? What if he plays?
What if?
I will take the Jags.
Wow, we are homered up here in Jacksonville, baby. We are homered up
man.
here in the River City.
They're giving us reason to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to be positive. Somebody said this to me today, and I think they're right on. It's like, when's the last time that you feel okay about the Jags going to play a really good team, even out west or anywhere? And you're like, I mean, listen, Jags beat the Bills last year, but we thought they were about to get pasted by the Bills when they came into town, and they stunned everybody. I'm talking about the feeling you have with this football team right now. I think everybody I talk to feels like this is going to be a competitive game. Again, that was even with Justin Herbert playing. And now I think that shifts a little bit more. I think a lot of people will go into this game here in town and say, I like the Jags here. I think they can go out there and play well. I'm seeing it. I believe in Doug Peterson. I believe in the defense. I believe in what we have on the outside. And there's a lot to like right now in Jacksonville. That's a good feeling to have. Now they got to go do it. They got to go play well and maybe even go get a win. So measuring stick game, does that happen in pro sports? I guess, because I think this one is it. I think this one kind of is it. And we don't talk about measuring stick games. Most people say it's like a moral victory.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this isn't that.
No.
This is more, where are you as a team?
Yeah.
Are you more ahead than we think you are?
This is who are you, who. That's what this game is.
I guess that's it. I mean, I wasn't quite putting it that way, but thank you for doing that. Aaron Schachter, Brent and Friends, Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz. We're back at Trinity Christian right after this. Of course, our Fridays presented by Nimnick Buick GMC. And for all the kids playing on a Friday night, well, you got to recover after the big game, the tough game, and maybe any sport, not just football. Well, you can do that at iCryo in St. Johns County, the Pavilion at Durbin Park. That's where we do that as well in our family. My kids are athletes and playing sports, and they recover at iCryo. You can recover from your daily lifestyle at iCryo. You don't have to be an athlete. You get that cryotherapy, the sauna, the compression, the red light therapy. Take care of you at iCryo in St. Johns County, the Pavilion at Durbin Park. And ESPN 690 wants to take care of you at iCryo with a day pass for $69 if you mention ESPN 690. So what's a day pass for $69? You can pick 3 of the 6 lifestyle services they have at iCryo: whole body cryo, local cryo, compression, red light therapy, sauna, cryofacial. You have to use the 3 of them in the same day, and that's a day pass for $69 if you mention ESPN 690. It's a heck of a deal because normally a lifestyle service is $39 just for one of them. Now you get 3 for $69. Just tell them ESPN 690 sent you.
Florida State football is back on Jacksonville's home for ESPN. ESPN 690. Saturday night, the Seminoles are back home to take on Boston College. Our coverage starts at 5:30 with the Florida State Tailgate Show. Then Jeff Colhane, William Floyd, and Tom Block have the call from Doak Campbell Stadium of Knowles Eagles. Kickoff at 8 o'clock Saturday night. Catch Florida State football all season long on Jacksonville's home for the Garnet and Gold. Seminole football on ESPN 690.
Injured? Hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Hey, boss, look. The ding-dong doorbell cameras made the news again.
Again? You would think that mega company that bought them out would be more buttoned up.
You would think. But now some homeowners are upset they shared camera footage without their consent.
Huh. You know, being a crook and all, one thing we know is that home security systems are not created equal.
That's for sure.
I mean, take SafeTouch Security. I don't pretend to know about their video monitoring encryptions or algorithms or their flux capacitor or whatever.
Wait, what?
Whatever it is they do, it works. That's why you don't hear about SafeTouch cameras in the news.
Encryptions, algorithms, and flux capacitors?
Never mind. It's also why we have the Crooks of Us golden rule: stay away from SafeTouch houses. Stick to that and we'll be fine.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233. Flux capacitor not included.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jax Dream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
Quitting nicotine isn't easy, which is why Tobacco-Free Florida offers free tools and services like free 2-week starter kits of Quit Aids. We're also trying out music to help motivate smokers to quit.
Not another cigarette would be late. Now there's someone living tobacco-free. It's you.
Wow. Okay. Maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
When I moved to Jacksonville 15 years ago, I found Nimnick Buick GMC. That led to the Acadia. I had a couple of them. And now the GMC Sierra truck, and I love it. I'm on my second one of those, all from Nimnick Buick GMC. GMC, we are professional grade. I know the product, the service, and I know the people. From Billy Nimnick to Jackie Lynch and James Jones. They've been my friends since 2008. Nimnick has been your friend in Jacksonville since 1941. NimnickBuickGMC.com. It's where I'll get my next truck, or maybe it'll be my kid's first vehicle at Nimnick Buick GMC.
Hi, this is Mal Washington. The Malavia Washington Youth Foundation provides after-school and summer programs for youth in Jacksonville's urban core. Learn more about the foundation at malwashington.com. Want to offer hope and change a child's life? Please consider joining the Malavia Washington Youth Foundation once a week to mentor a child. Visit malwashington.com to learn more. Want to change a life but don't have time to volunteer? Consider sponsoring a child today. It's your serve. Visit malwashington.com to learn more.
Ad paid for by the Sentinel Group. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those in the Marine Corps' base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve, but passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file lawsuits seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation. 800-211-3098. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-211-3098. That's 800-211-3098. Again, 800-211-3098.
September is here and fall is right around the corner, so they say. But you know what else is right around the corner? Your family-owned and operated dealer, Arlington Toyota. Right now, Arlington's got 500 new Toyotas available, and you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles with your new Toyota purchase. Arlington's even got 400 used ready to test drive and take home today. And Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Shop in person and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Our nation's sea services protect our waterways, eliminate threats around the world, and safeguard Americans at sea. They have been a vital part of our nation's defense since 1775. Help keep our sea services strong. Support our Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and U.S. Flag Merchant Marine by enrolling as a member of the Navy League of the United States, the #1 advocate for our sea services. Learn more at NavyLeague.org. The Navy League is a CFC participant.
Hey, it's Brett Mortno from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at BrentASJax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Friends, ESPN 690, Aaron Schachter, Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and they call me Jameis Winston because of all the pain I had to endure this morning.
I like that.
Listen.
I like that.
Only one person on this show got up at 8 a.m. specifically to watch soccer.
Because 2 of them were up before 8 a.m.
Shut up, Aaron. Nobody asked. I was told to bring the show back. I will do that, as I will, and tell you the pain I endured watching the U.S. men's national team this morning. Supposed to be tuning up for the World Cup. They were tuning up for nothing. It was horrible. It was disgusting. It was gross. If they play like that in the World Cup, they will surely lose to England 8-0. Nothing for those that don't understand what nil means. It means 0 points. Because the U.S. men had a grand total. Get your fingers ready, folks. No shots on goal this morning. 0. I woke up at 8 a.m. for them to do absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
It was horrible. It was disgusting. Brett Martineau, your thoughts are what?
What does bad soccer look like other than no shots on goal?
It looks like losing the ball 52 times in the first half.
It looks like a really long game of Red Rover, Red Rover.
So are you more mad about waking up at 8 a.m. or watching the U.S. men's national team?
Listen, both. But I've said multiple times on Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton, I wake up early and watch Chelsea. And I always, every time, I'm like, I wasted my time again. So this morning, I thought the Americans would do me right because, to be honest with you, they're higher ranked than Japan. And I'm not going to lie, I thought they were going to rout them. So I was like, all right, at least they're going to score 5 or 6 times. Everything will be great. They didn't even get a shot, bro.
What does the team, seriously, what does the U.S. men's national team look like now versus what it will look like in 2 months? Is this the same group? Or will they get different players in or what?
It's a great question, Brent. It's the $1 million question, actually. And the scary part is they're probably going to look very similar. They don't know who's going to play striker. They didn't figure that out today. Once again, Brent, I will emphasize no shots on goal. So you can't know who your striker is if none of them can hit the net. So that's part one. And the only thing that will change is Pulisic didn't play this morning. He got hurt yesterday in training. Not a big injury. He'll play on Tuesday when they play again, or Monday, whichever day. I don't know. I have to get up again. But, yeah, these are the boys. These are the boys you got, barring 1 or 2 maybe changes. But this is the team you're going to see at the World Cup. And if they perform like that against any of their group, they will get stomped and slaughtered, and we will be the laughingstock of soccer/football again.
I don't really understand why the U.S. men's team couldn't score anything. I've seen my 4-year-old play soccer. It looks pretty easy to me.
Yep, you're preaching to the choir, brother. I don't know why they couldn't score either.
Doesn't make any sense.
Pulisic's a big difference maker, though, right? I mean, I'm not sure he gets 10 shots on. They get 10 shots on goal with him, but I mean, he's a massive part of their team.
They are surely better with him out there, but he is not like a striker, so he would be facilitating on the wing, which, again, they were better when they moved some stuff around and put Josh Sargent in. But, yeah, you would think, in theory, they could have at least put a shot on the net. But, nope, they played 90 full minutes without actually doing anything near the goal of the game.
We are a couple months out now from that big one, especially the day after Thanksgiving in the morning, England against the United States. And, I mean, heck, we have people talking about that in our building, a lot.
Besides Casey.
Yeah, besides you.
Okay.
So, like, you hear that chatter, that conversation. People are looking forward to that one, right? But what is the realistic goal, Casey? I know people are more bullish on the United States men's national team than they have been, but there's also, like, aren't you kind of blind faithing this a little bit? Like, you have no idea what they are or who they're going to be.
Well, I wouldn't say you're blind faithing it, but you've gone now from you missed it last time, and then the time before you had some okay players, but this time you have players all over Europe to the point where you've got Pulisic winning the Champions League, who played a big part of that when he did. Now, granted, he's getting totally – a word that I almost said that I shouldn't have said on the radio, but
I love it.
It's totally unfair what's going on at Chelsea with him right now. But you have Brendan Aronson, who's now in the Premier League. You got Tyler Adams. You have all these guys that have kind of been around Europe and are playing more high level. So it's blind faith, but at the same time, there's no excuse to not get out of the group stage. If they somehow do not make it out of the group stage, people are getting fired, like we're the laughing stock. It's a bad look because their group is not that tough outside of England, but 2 teams go. So they should be going with no problem. The problem is, again, back to the 0 shots on goal. this morning.
You can't win if you don't have a shot on goal.
No one's figured it out yet, Brent. No one has figured it out yet. If you could somehow draw 3 times at 0-0, I don't know what works there because you have no goal differential. But if every team in the group does not score, you have a chance.
My prediction is they'll at least score in the World Cup.
Who do you think it'll be, Brent?
It's bold take.
I have no idea.
Brent, who would you like to see them play at striker? Like, who would you like to see him come out the gates with?
I'd like to see the band striker at striker, if that's possible.
Okay.
Who am I going? This is a better question because I don't have an answer for you. Who am I going to be like, wow, that guy's pretty good, or that guy's the next American star?
Brendan Aronson.
I like that guy just from his name. Brenton Aronson is the dude.
Brendan. But okay, yeah.
We could have named the show that.
Yeah, Brenton Frendenson. Is that guy on the team?
There you go. But I think that's the guy. I think he's going to have a good, if they can figure out how to get it to him. Because, again, not the striker.
I'm going to buy the Brenton Aronson jersey.
There you go.
Well, you get to go take care of those kids. Wake up at 2:30 in the morning a couple more times this weekend.
I'll be texting
Aaron
you when I
Schachter.
do, buddy. Come on.
We got to call it. We got to text at 2:30 this morning or whatever. Yeah, it was 2:30.
Yes.
Oh, I've had a heck of a night.
And by the way, that was the second wake-up call for me. So you got the second one.
You'd think your kids were like 6 weeks old.
This is, I'm telling you, significant regression. Losing my mind.
Have a good weekend, man.
See you, buddy.
Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz comes back, football at 5, and then he's got overtime with Kurtz in Middleton. We got Blitz Scoreboard Show at 9 o'clock. And the Friday Night Blitz at 10:30, all on the way on a big Friday. We're live at Trinity Christian Academy. They host Columbia in our game of the week. We go football at 5 when we come back on ESPN 690.
As the seasons change, one thing remains the same. Jacksonville is fueled by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about in Jacksonville, come hang with us and grab an ice-cold Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
It's going to be a busy month at Best Bet Orange Park. The Greater Orange Park Open Tournament is back. This $500 no-limit hold'em tournament will be happening on Saturday, September 24th, with $120 satellites starting on September 21st. With plenty of parking and a safe and friendly environment, you'll see why Best Bet Orange Park was awarded the Best of Play in Event, Entertainment, and Sushi. Open from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. Monday through Friday, and 24 hours on the weekend. Best Bet Orange Park.
Hi, this is Keith Gurr, president of American Window Products. Right now, we're offering a free installation on 6 or more windows, as well as a free energy package. Go to AmericanWindowProducts.com and click for an estimate. That's AmericanWindowProducts.com. American Window Products, we are the window professionals.
Go Tuckin', the most fun way to experience the best of Jacksonville. Whether it's a Jacksonville sightseeing tour in an open-air tuk-tuk or private transportation in their luxury Mercedes Party limo, Go Tuckin' is top-rated. Enjoy an exclusive Jacksonville public art tour, a residential architecture and history tour, or a Jack's Urban Core brewery tour. Go Tuckin' offers locally guided tours for your next company outing, bachelor or bachelorette party, or a simple group outing with friends and family. Visit GoTuckN.com. Go Tuckin' of Jacksonville to schedule a Tuckin' good time today.
Hey, do you like beer? Yeah! What about great food and lederhosen? Then you're gonna love the 3rd annual Oktoberfest at Kingmaker Brewing in Riverside. Sponsored by 1-to-1 Financial Credit Union. Kingmaker has the only Oktoberfest in Jacksonville that spans 2 whole weekends.
Right.
September 22nd to October 2nd. That's 10 days of good food, great beer, and amazing local businesses. Learn more or grab VIP tickets at KingmakerBrewing.com. Oktoberfest, September 22nd to October 2nd. Kingmaker in Riverside. Brought to you by Jacksonville's hometown credit union, 1-to-1 Financial. Duncan.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997 and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
You can't get much for $5 these days, unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT, plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink, all for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're gonna feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge.
But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99.
You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
ESPN 690 pays your bills.
Are you kidding me?
You've got 5 chances to win $1,000 every weekday at 8 a.m., 10, noon, 2, and 5 p.m. This is a nationwide contest message and data rates apply. Complete rules at ESPN690.com. ESPN 690 pays your bills on ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
What's up? It's Casey. Check out the podcast Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, wherever you get your podcasts.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
Doug Brown, in addition to his one-year suspension, Celtics coach Ime Udoka faces a significant financial penalty. That word today from Celtics owner Wick Grousbeck.
We have strong policies and procedures in place like most businesses, well-run businesses in corporate America. We have probably very similar policies, and we have enforced them in the past, and we're enforcing them now.
Wick Grousbeck, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports Udoka had an intimate relationship with a female team staffer. Assistant Joe Mazzulla will be the interim coach for the upcoming season. Celtics center Robert Williams will be out 2 to 3 months after surgery on his left knee, the second operation on that knee in the last 6 months. Andre Iguodala of the Warriors announced on his Point Forward podcast today that he'll be coming back for his 19th NBA season. Iguodala says this will be his final season. Updating the President's Cup Day 2 at Quail Hollow, Team USA now leads the Internationals 5-1, and the U.S. leads 2 of the remaining 4 matches today.
Summer Bonanza means more business in the fall months. Hire right with Indeed. Their integrated solution lets you schedule and conduct video interviews all in one place. Finding your next great hire has never been this easy. Get hiring at Indeed.com/credit.
Now, your chance to win $1,000 as ESPN 690 pays your bills.
Fueled by Celsius Essential Energy. Essential Energy. Live fit.
Are you ready to go?
3, 2, 1.
Text the word silver to the number 70123 before 15 past the hour. That's SILVER.
Your next chance to win is Monday morning at 8. This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply. Get the complete rules now at ESPN690.com.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jacks presents Brent and Friends with Brett Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year 2 pom-pom people.
Casey Kurtz.
Yo! What are we doing, bro?
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Get him! Yeah! This is Brent and Friends with Brett Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690.
Hey, what's happening? Football at 5 here on a Friday on ESPN 690. Brent and Friends, and I brought along another friend. How about this? Matthew Driscoll, UNF men's basketball coach, joining us on the back of the tailgate here at Trinity Christian as they get ready to take on Columbia, of course, tonight in our Game of the Week presented by Nimnick Buick GMC. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Aaron Schachter. We kicked them out. We replaced them with Matthew Driscoll. We'll get Kevin Sullivan on here in a moment. Is Sully on?
Yes.
Oh, good. What's up, Sully?
Hey, Brett. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
What's up, Coach? Hey, Matt. What's going on, Driscoll? You doing
How you
all
doing,
right?
my brother?
Man, you got a big-time facility they building you over there, man. That's exciting.
Yes, sir. Well, 14 years and kind of where it came from and where we're headed to. So
it's an exciting time, and there's a lot more on the horizon too. And we got a chance with a lot of players coming back with a lot of experience and a lot of good talent. And the league's got 14 teams, so I'm a Western Pennsylvania guy, so high school football is something that's in my blood. And I used to call play-by-play for my high school, and so I'm excited to hang out with Brent and kind of get a feel as an intern. I'm interning tonight.
Yes.
Hey,
This is a true
he's
story.
He's probably getting ready for you to replace me. Is what he's probably doing.
No.
Not yet. Just in addition to. Just in
There you
addition
go.
to.
I literally reached out to him. I said, hey, my wife's out of town, and I want to check out a high school football game. Let me ask you a question. And I actually asked him without knowing it was me.
Yeah, I thought it was an intern you were asking about.
I never used the word, and of course I'm not going to lie. And I just said, hey, would you ever let somebody like go along with you and like a ride along, like Kevin Hart? So I'm trying to be like Kevin Hart, except I won't use the kick move. But yeah, high school football, exciting, and there's a lot of great games tonight. And obviously we'll come back at 9 and finish it up and really get you swinging with the blitz. So it's going to be an exciting time, and I'm glad you're on with us.
Good
Oh,
stuff,
man, I'm
Kevin
glad you're
Sullivan,
on.
Our Hall of Fame coach, and we got a lot of coach speak right now. We got our coach's corner. Maybe we should do more of this here on Fridays or any day of the week. But Kevin Sullivan, I'm here at the Trinity Christian Columbia game. This is a game that it's been really good. People look forward to over the years, but Trinity has basically had the Tigers' number, right? I mean, 4 out of the last 6, 2 in a row. And Trinity looks to be the better team this year, but Columbia has come on strong the last couple of weeks. Remember a couple of weeks ago, Coach, we were surprised by them losing to Union County. And we're like, uh-oh, what's going on at Columbia? Well, they've really turned it around the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, they sort of got started slow. And, they had a couple guys come in and transfer new quarterback. They got a lot of talent, a lot of guys back. And it's sort of like they started off slow, like they weren't quite buying in what's going on. But they seem to get back on track. Had a big win last week and got 2 in a row. And then this one's as big as they get because I think Trinity's playing as well as they have.
When you think about what you just said and you talk exactly what you just said, when you start off a little sluggish or things don't go your way, but the next thing you know, you flip it, and the Jaguars not so much maybe parallel that, but maybe it wasn't what we wanted against the Commanders, but then they flip it and then you see it. And the thing I want to say about the Herbert thing too, when you go back to high school football, is like it is what it is. You got to line up with who you got to line up with. Yeah. And everybody's got injuries. Everybody gets people hurt. And sometimes it's Jose and Carter, and sometimes it's whatever. Yeah. So you got to play the game. Yeah. You got to play the game.
And that's one thing we don't ever know about as much in high school football. Like Columbia might have been without some of their guys that we just don't know. I mean, it's just not covered in that respect, even like the college game or the pro game. And so you don't know why necessarily people are losing early, or sometimes it's just cyclical, right, Coach Sullivan? I mean, sometimes you're just down, even though you're a really proud program. You have a lot of good players. You usually win, and it's cyclical, and you just don't have the horses in a given year.
Yeah, and sometimes too, Brent, you come back after a successful year. A year ago, you graduate some kids, and then you're trying to put the pieces together early. And then, hopefully by week 3 or 4, you start figuring out, that kid can't play. We need to not play him at corner. He might need to be box safety or free safety. Maybe we got to move a guy. He's been getting beat. So I think maybe they've done some adjustment. And I think more it's just gotten a better flow of what they've been trying to do, because I know they came out wanting to throw it and everything with Tyler Jefferson. And but now they've sort of got back more trying to get more balanced out there, Lake City. But boy, Trinity, you know what they're going to do? They're going to come at you every way they can.
Yeah,
they don't have those cyclical problems here at Trinity, by the way.
Well, the scheme. I mean, maybe you're a running team, a heavy running team, or maybe you can throw it a little bit more, or maybe you got the wiggle guy in the slot. So maybe they didn't figure that out early enough either. Maybe the other team schemed well enough. Maybe even they got fortunate and helped you. The other thing too, Coach, they might have helped you figure out what you didn't know. Because you don't see it every day against your own guys.
Right. Yeah, without a doubt. And that's the thing. And also they played one really good team week 1, and week 2 we thought they were going to go. And it's a good team, Union County, but not on their caliber. But to get blown out the way they did, maybe that got their attention and they came back a little bit more focused, especially their older kids, their seniors. A lot of pride out there.
Yeah, a lot of pride out there. It's a great place for high school football in the area, and so is this one right here. and they beat Madison County last week, and that might be the same scenario. Maybe Madison County isn't as good as they usually are. Maybe that's not as an impressive a win. We have no idea. But we know this. Trinity Christian's good. As we chat with Kevin Sullivan, we have Matthew Driscoll with us here at Football at 5. Casey Kurtz back in the studio. Brent Martineau, we're hanging out on the tailgate here at Trinity Christian, and the Conquerors usually conquer. They know what's up. 300-plus wins now for Verlin Dormany. And, Sully, how good is Colin Hurley? I mean, Matthew Driscoll just came over and said, hey, the quarterback's good, right? He's a sophomore kid, right? I mean, everybody's heard about this kid, and my thought is always, listen, he's got the tools. That doesn't make you great as a freshman or a sophomore, but he makes some plays because we had a nice highlight, I think it was last week on the Friday Night Blitz, and it's like you can see how comfortable that kid is playing the quarterback position. One, because he trusts his skill set from a confidence standpoint, his size, his arm strength, but two, he also has been out there enough. He was directing traffic on this specific play and then launched a beauty down the field, Coach.
Yeah, and the thing about him is that running game really is a quarterback's best friend. You know what I mean? Because you can't gang 8 up if they try to go 8 up in the box, now you get their skill guys out there one-on-one, and with a quarterback that can put the ball on the money and give you the short pass that goes to a long gain, or the guy gets behind, he scrambles out a little bit. So the running game helps him as a quarterback, and I think it's really fun to watch when you've got a good running game and you can do some things offensively with your quarterback and those skill guys.
Well, if you're talking a running game now, you got a kid in Trayon Webb who's committed to the Gators. He's a big-time back for this team. He's healthy. And then Darnell Rogers, who doesn't get the headlines because of Webb and probably Hurley too, Coach, but he's been fantastic. So that's the duo you're talking about. It's got to be, I don't know, I mean, it's safe to say one of the best duos in the state of Florida.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, you can't really stretch. We don't get to see a lot of the South Florida teams and that kind of stuff, but in this area, they might be the best duo. You know, those and the 2 or 3 headed monster at Ed White seem to be putting up a lot of numbers. But the Trinity guys are weak against quality competition.
Well, Derrick Henry didn't get much burn at Alabama early either. You talk about the trust is a great word. I heard CEO for Medtronics today and the CEO for Baptist Health today speaking at a symposium. And the one thing about trust is, and what you just said, Brent, is something I think with Anthony Richardson they're talking about as well, too. I really went to that vision when you talked about this kid and what he does and what he loves to do with what he has. I think you used the word confidence.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Anthony is.
I agree.
Because he has all the tools. Because Mel Kiper's not, Mel Kiper knows what he's doing. So I really think that's a great way to word it.
Well, confidence and trust, I think they kind of go along. Like I've said that a lot about Trevor over the last year. I don't think that kid lacks confidence because he's got great tools, but does he trust anything? And last week it looked like he trusted everything. Trevor did, the game plan, the guys, the line, the all this. And
now
we'll
2 weeks ago, he trusted his throws. They just weren't where they needed to be.
Yeah,
but
he's also getting hit on every other play.
But
so
he trusted the routes. He trusted He trusted everything where they were going. So they just didn't complete it.
Coach, so we talked Trinity Christian Columbia. Let's get a couple of other games in here. Kind of like that Creekside Mandarin game. Ooh. Creekside put on a scoring clinic last week. They have several times this year. They didn't give up against Buchholz. We thought that was a good battle, and we watched it unfold on the Blitz Scoreboard show on all our social media channels live. And now you get Mandarin. This should be a really good game. I'm excited for the Creekside Mandarin game and see which way this goes.
Yeah, you got 2 different contrast styles. The Creekside this year really wants to run it and then throw it, and Mandarin wants to throw it to run it. And you've got a really good group of skill guys. Mandarin, a quarterback, Tramell Jones, is having a nice year. Jamie French, another sophomore phenom wide receiver. And they've got a couple other guys, Shaq and Jackson wideouts. And last week the running back had 125, 130 yards for the first time, getting a guy over 100. So that game's going to be big. But the big thing is, boy, the loser, Creekside gets beat in this one, their district chance really takes a hit because of the loss last week to Buchholz. If they, and so the way the playoffs go, strength of schedule, wins, and that kind of stuff, this is a really, really big game for that.
Massive. You talk about RPI at our level in the net, the NE to net. You talk about the way they do that with the football playoffs. Good Lord.
Have we seen a district like this, by the way? Buchholz is loaded. We just watched it. Creekside is better than people think. You mentioned Mandarin and Oakleaf, and who am I missing? Bartram.
Yeah, and Oakleaf beat, who everybody thought might have been the best team in the district, Fleming Island, last week. Oakley took care of business. They're getting no love from everybody, which is probably good for them. And but and then Fleming in there, it's the wildest district. It could be the strongest district in the state.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good. Bartram does come back home to finally play in the area and within the area code after 3 weeks on the road, and they're so good, we think, again, because they usually win, but we don't know much about Bartram.
Right.
We're going to learn a little bit more because you got that great Bartram-St. Augustine battle, and the tide has finally turned in that series, Coach.
Yeah, it went 17, 18 years, all St. Augustine, and now Bartram's finally broke through the one time, and now they've beaten them 4 years, maybe 4 or 5 years in a row now. And Bartram's really doing it defensively this year. I mean, Lincoln was coming in last week in Tallahassee. They were playing in Tallahassee. Lincoln undefeated, averaging 65 points a game. Wow. Bartram held them to 7.
Who you playing? Who you playing?
7 points, though, after averaging 65. That's the thing. I think a lot of people over the year, we talk about offense a lot. Bartram's always good on defense, Coach. Like, yes. They always are, like, and they have some terrific players. A guy like Sharif Denson, who's also committed to Florida, but they're always stout and strong on the defense, which keeps them in games. I'm not sure they're electric on the offensive side of the football this year.
No, I think they're really solid, but I think defensively it really gives them a chance. They only had 13 week one to a good PV team, but they've really sort of beat. I mean, they beat a mainland team that's a pretty good team. I've watched them practice, and I've seen them down there. Travis Rowland been around a long time, and they've done a really good job. And so it'll be fun. I'm sure they're glad to be home after being road warriors, 2 in Daytona, 1 in Tallahassee, and now they get home. They get home to play in front of the home crowd.
Yeah, we get to learn a little bit about them as well. Brent Martineau, along with UNF men's basketball coach Matthew Driscoll, talking some high school football and other sports with us here on ESPN 690. And Kevin Sullivan, our Hall of Fame coach, who will join me once again tonight for the Blitz Scoreboard Show, along with Casey, who's back in the Action Sports Jack studios, and we'll be pushing all the buttons. The most difficult show to unveil in the area. Casey pushes all the right buttons for tonight, 9 p.m. until 10:30. Then we hand off to our Friday Night Blitz, and we run downstairs and do some TV on CBS 47 and Fox 30 as well. So we should have a fun night. It's a beautiful weather night for high school football. It feels like it's going to, like, maybe rain because of the clouds, but it's not. Like, there's no rain in the forecast from what I understand.
Second day of fall, I think. It's second day of fall. We got a nice breeze.
Yeah. Did you see some rain in the forecast?
No, it's like 7%. Yeah, 7%.
I'm just saying, no rain? Are you kidding me? It's week 5.
Her
game with no rain?
Her mind's a long way away. Don't worry about that. We're going to be trying it.
Yeah, I was going to say, next week we might have a hurricane to deal with.
Her mind, don't worry about that. Don't worry about tomorrow. Today's troubles are enough, right?
You know what I can't. You know what I can't get off in my mind. You just said the high school football in Western PA, which is really good, of course, and you did some play-by-play. Like, I want to know, like, what was a catchphrase or what was the touchdown call, man? I mean,
I know one thing. Mars beat us so badly one night. The guys on the team wanted to fight. Because they were like, man, you sound like you was from Mars and you weren't for our team. I'm like, listen, I'm just calling the game the way it is. So
it's always great if somebody tells you it sounds like you're from Mars.
Well, I've had a lot of people tell me that. Hey, Coach, let me ask you this question. As you get into this and you're on the back end of September and you know what you just said earlier and you're talking about one game, obviously, like any game, which we always tell our guys which one keeps you in, which one keeps you out. When you look at tonight, and you look at some of these other matchups that we're going to talk about and break down, which one do you think it really has significance when it comes at the end of the day is really going to determine what happens when we get to the playoffs?
Well, I think Riverside Ed White is really big because I think the winner is going to win the district. Riverside's already beat Westside, Ed White. So this is sort of there's only 3 teams in the district. Ed White could end up losing tonight, still getting in at 8-2, but Riverside could lose tonight and maybe not get in. So whatever they end up being, because that would put them at 2-3, even though they do have a good schedule, but they don't. Yeah, strength of schedule. So, and then on the other side, Ed White's schedule is pretty good, especially with the Trinity, but everybody else they play hasn't been great. So tonight's a big test for them. So we'll get a real good feel tonight of both those teams. But I think that's a big one. And, of course, Fletcher Sandalwood. That's just such a big rival. They're playing again for the first time in a few years. They played last year. I'm sorry, they didn't play. They haven't played in the last 3 years, I want to say, since 16 maybe, or 15, 16, 17, around there. So that's a big game. That's a big neighborhood rivalry. And Fletcher's, sort of getting there, moving. They start slow, and then they really get going. And then Sandalwood, sort of, he's still trying to figure out, are they going to run it, or are they going to throw it, what they're going to do. So I think those two are big ones tonight.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. By the way, Coach Driscoll, pay attention at Ed White Riverside. That's where we're going after this.
I'm with you.
All right.
So well, after I clean up all your gear, that's what the intern does, right? Isn't that a movie? Wasn't they interns at Google or something? By the way, do you play Frisbee golf?
I do, yeah.
I got a 9-hole course.
I should say I do, but yeah,
we can get 9 holes in real quick if we have time.
we could try that if you want. I'm actually going to scout the Trinity Christian softball team. So
I know one thing, they were working on bunting.
Against them in
they were working on bunting early. Hey, do you know the former coach from Nice is now the first base coach for the Yankees?
Yes, Travis Chapman.
Yeah.
Good guy, awesome guy.
Yeah,
you'd love him.
That'd be cool to.
You'd have to have him come in and speak to the group. Fantastic guy. So how about that? He's getting to see all that unveil itself.
Yeah.
I mean, all the history. That's pretty awesome. So
that's the thing about Judge is like it's an American League record. It's different.
It's going to be different.
It's not just pull 700 is great, but
yeah.
Right.
Now, listen, we're not allowed to talk Yankees on the show unless we mention Travis Chapman's name, just to let you know. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah,
so, Coach, back to you.
Hey, well, I'm a Red Sox guy too. So my dad grew up on Cape Cod on High End.
Well, you know what? They just called up UNF Frank German.
They did.
That's right. So that's right. We love the Red Sox here. That's right. UNF, baby. UNF.
I'd root for them next year, but we do love them around
here. I think they are. I think the Orioles play the Red Sox, and both of our guys get to play each other next week.
Baker
next week.
That's pretty cool. That's a great moment for a university in North Florida. Hey, a couple more quick hitters, and then we'll let you go, Coach Sully.
Okay.
Inglewood, chance to go to 3-1. They play at Stanton. They're probably the favorites in that game. Stanton's struggling. 3-1 would be a big deal for the Rams. We've been talking about them early in the year.
Yeah, I think they've done Coach Harbison's done a really nice job, and they're competitive. And again, people say, well, they don't play anybody. Their schedule doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because they're playing the same people they were playing in the past. And
who's on your schedule, Coach?
Right, exactly. And Coach has done a good job. The kids are playing hard. They seem to be having fun. They're getting some wins. I'd really like. This is sort of that story. You hope that they get into 6, 7, 8 wins, maybe, Brent, and it's a great story. They maybe sneak in the playoffs later on down the road. So really excited about what's going on over at Inglewood. After you, and you've been around a long time. I've been around. There ain't been a lot of great Inglewood teams in the last 15 years.
No, and the beauty of that for me is I always feel good for the kids and the football players. It's tough when you lose every Friday night or a lot of Friday nights. Part of the cool thing about high school football, maybe even more than all the other sports, is walking those halls on a Friday morning, getting ready for the game, right? And everybody's fired up for a game. Well, that's starting to happen a little bit, I would suspect, in the first month at Inglewood. And so I feel good for the coaches and the players.
Wearing their jersey down the hallway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's part of it, right? I mean, that's why there's a little bit more of a lure in high school football than playing some of the other sports. That's why I wanted to play every year. I wanted to wear that jersey, but then I was like,
I used to wear my headset down the hallway because I was an announcer, play-by-play.
That's what I would have done, too. Yeah. I probably should have done that. Hey, Nice is looking for its first win. They got a Gator commit at quarterback, Marcus Stokes, and they're 0-4. Colin Draft's great job last year. This team is still trying to find its way. They're at Orange Park tonight, but it still is a bit of a surprise story to see that record, even though they've played some tough competition.
Yeah, they play some tough competition, but remember, we know they've had a lot of graduation. They got a lot of young guys coming in there, and he doesn't have Dom Henry to bail them out and throw it to him. You know what I mean? And they've actually played a little bit better of late, been a little bit more competitive for the last 3 weeks. They just haven't gotten the win.
Yeah, that was a good win by Fletcher, by the way, over Nice last week. Episcopal's unbeaten, and one last one to get you to, and then you can have dinner and then join us again at 9 p.m. Bowls. Not too many times I've been around here when Bowles has lost a couple of games in a row. They got to try to get back on the winning track against Benedictine out of Savannah.
And again, they've run into 2 pretty good teams. I mean, both those teams that they've lost to are good players. Brunswick up in Georgia, undefeated, ranked top 5 in their classification. And, of course, Trinity. They're getting in there, but I think maybe with Bowles, everybody think they're just going to plug guys in and just reload and roll over everybody, and maybe they're having one of those bunch of graduation, bunch of good players, and they're just trying to get them plug and play, and again, good quality competition, but they'll be ready to go down the line when they get down towards the end of the schedule into the playoff mold.
Yeah,
and I expect them to win tonight too.
Yeah. They reload 100%. Benedictine, by the way, is defending state champs. And in their basketball, they would come to our team camp. And that's, I mean, they got some dudes, they got some players. But the one thing they are is they're really, really tough. Like, they're tough dudes that really compete. So, you know, that'll be in and of itself. I don't know how good they are this year. And maybe they're like Nice. Maybe they won it. Now they're trying to figure it back out. But they've been good. They've been good.
Coach, I have two coaches on right now. Hall of Famer Kevin Sullivan, UNF men's basketball coach. You'll be in a Hall of Fame somewhere. I mean, probably at UNF at some point. So then I can call you Hall of Famer too. I just surround myself with Hall of Famers. I'm never making one. So my wife's in. Austin Lane was in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so Murray State for him. Steph Kahana, Lincoln High School in Ohio. Coach is in. How many Hall of Fames are you even in, Coach? Probably
Just
like 2
one.
or 3.
Just the one, man. Just the one. Easy.
So
Easy.
here's what I want from you guys. You got to set the table. Like, what kind of motivational speech are you calling on tonight? Like, would you guys? You already had to do it, Sully, on a football Friday night. I got to believe, Driscoll. I mean, you could. I mean,
who am I talking to?
It's got to be more than "Let's go."
Who am I talking to? I mean, am I talking to this?
You got Trinity tonight.
Am I talking to the Trinity kids?
Yeah.
Hey, just so you guys understand something, last week. Like, yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery. Today's what's in front of us. And when we think about today and what's about us today, this team coming in, don't think they're laying down and don't think they haven't done what they've done before, and don't think they can't wait to beat us. Because everybody every week comes in here to beat us. We're never going to be that other person. We're always going to be hunted. And when you are, you better be on point, but you better be on point for the entire deal. Because if you think you're going to half-step it halfway through it, it ain't going to work that way. So let's understand that. Let's do what we do. Let's be who we are. And most importantly, understand, let's be for each other, and let's do it together, 1-0. That's all we do.
You got to do that in the football, Coach. You got Columbia, by the way. Can you inspire them enough against Trinity Christian here tonight?
Yeah, leave the outside noise alone. We know what we do. We know what we're capable of. Look at the guy right. Look at the guy left of you. Just take care of business. One play at a time. Play to the whistle. Run around. Have some fun. Knock them around. But just remember, you don't get these opportunities very often to prove people wrong. Nobody's picking you. Your back's to the wall. Go out there and play Columbia County football, baby. Tiger pride.
Very well done, guys. Very well done. I think this might be a new segment. We'll have to give Coach Driscoll a call every Friday night.
Let's hope Trinity gets that win, though.
I don't know. Hey, Sully might be rooting for Columbia after that. He's going to take all the
I'm
credit.
sure he is.
Put another win on the docket.
He picked Columbia, so
hey, Coach, go have a good
All
dinner,
right.
man. We'll talk to you tonight. Blitz Scoreboard Show on ESPN.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, Matt. Take it easy.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
We'll take a break. Football at 5 continues. Back to the Jags. The big story is Justin Herbert. We'll give you an update if you haven't caught it yet. Justin Herbert news out of L.A. What's the latest? We go there when we come back on a Friday edition of Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. Friday's always presented by Nimnik Buick GMC on ESPN 690. Hey, if you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997. And a staff that wants to help. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business, now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes. They just helped us with our Dream 18 golf tournament as well. Embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
September is here and fall is right around the corner, so they say. But you know what else is right around the corner? Your family-owned and operated dealer, Arlington Toyota. Right now, Arlington's got 500 new Toyotas available, and you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles with your new Toyota purchase. Arlington's even got 400 used ready to test drive and take home today. And Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Shop in person and online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly cloudy and a bit breezy this evening and tonight as temperatures fall from the 70s into the 60s by early Saturday morning. That'll be nice. We're mostly sunny and mild on Saturday with highs in the mid-80s, but still comfortable humidity, and the humidity stays tolerable through Sunday, but Sunday does warm up a bit into the middle and upper 80s. Have a great weekend. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Corey Sema.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where now you can buy like a dealer buys.
Go Tuckin', the most fun way to experience the best of Jacksonville. Whether it's a Jacksonville sightseeing tour in an open-air tuk-tuk or private transportation in their luxury Mercedes Party limo, Go Tuckin' is top-rated. Enjoy an exclusive Jacksonville public art tour, a residential architecture and history tour, or a Jack's Urban Core Brewery tour. Go Tuckin' offers locally guided tours for your next company outing, bachelor or bachelorette party, or a simple group outing with friends and family. Visit GoTuckN.com. Go Tuckin' of Jacksonville to schedule a Tuckin' good time today.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you play a sport or coach a sport or watch a sport in Jacksonville, there's a really good chance that uniform was ordered through Baker Sports. Look good, feel good, play good. Custom sports apparel at Baker Sports since 1997 and a staff that wants to help you. They are experts in the business and make outfitting your team a seamless endeavor. The homegrown Jacksonville business is now the top choice for apparel all over the Southeast. Baker Sports, uniforms, hats, shoes, embroidery, screen printing, and 3D printing. They do it all at Baker Sports, helping make your team look good.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
As the seasons change, one thing remains the same. Jacksonville is fueled by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about in Jacksonville, come hang with us and grab an ice-cold Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
I wanted to know why some people who get COVID-19 get it so bad. I found out it may be because they have a high risk factor, such as heart disease, diabetes, being overweight, smoking, and asthma. Even if symptoms feel mild, these factors can increase your risk of COVID-19 turning severe. So if you're at high risk and test positive, there are things you can do, like asking your healthcare provider if an authorized oral treatment is right for you. Learn about an option at treatcovid19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
On the south side, we got 6 poly panels, and please make sure they're flush.
Kwame is converting everyone on the block to solar power.
Please get a crew to wrap up 202 South Duane.
He needs more certified installers before the sun sets on his business boom.
Let's pick up the pace. We got a long day.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690, and you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. Hey, welcome back. Football at 5. Brent Martineau along with the UNF men's basketball coach Matthew Driscoll and Casey Kurtz in the Action Sports Jack studios. We're hanging out on the back of the tailgate here at Trinity Christian. It's our game of the week. They'll host Columbia. We just talked all about it with Kevin Sullivan as well. Blitz Scoreboard Show coming up at 9 o'clock. And then 10:30 we have our Friday Night Blitz. Of course, all our Friday coverage presented by Nimnick Buick GMC and Baker Sports. And Coach Driscoll, you mentioned, did you know Casey's a UNF guy?
Oh, is that right?
He's a swooper.
I was telling you earlier that those guys do an amazing job. And the thing that comes across when you're listening to them on the radio is they really understand. They have a high level of knowledge. And it really shows in all their different sports, not just the different sports they cover, but different people, names, statistics, all the key things are important in your business. But it seems like it's at the tip of their tongue. Like they're just like this. Those two guys are they're really, really special. In my opinion, as a listener, I was really impressed have been impressed by those guys.
Casey, you said that unsolicited, man.
I
mean,
know.
that's. Please make a promo out of that or something. He actually
yeah.
told me that on the phone when I talked to him about coming over here and when he was coming.
Well, Brent, I mean, you know, what else can I say? Thank you, Coach.
Yeah.
Appreciate the support. But
UNF product. See
yeah.
another UNF product doing well.
It's true. It's true.
Swoop, baby, swoop.
Hey, quick mention. We're going to get into Herbert and the Jags. We want to give everybody an update on that situation. It's the big story of this Friday because I actually think things have changed. I feel totally different about Herbert playing. But before we get to that, you guys are just around the corner here, right? What are you doing now basketball-wise? And you've got just everybody back. What, you add one player?
So, first of all, when the nor'easter comes, that means that it's football season. I had no idea when the wind changes to the nor'easter. That's right about the same time every year.
Okay.
So I learned that 14 years being here. And the thing I love about the nor'easter that with football starting, we're next.
Yeah.
So
you're right
we
on
start
the horizon.
Monday. The official practice starts and we go at it. Of course, we're still out of the facility for about another 3 weeks or so. So we'll be at FSCJ using theirs, and we'll also use our field house at our place. But yeah, we got everybody back. We've got a chance to be really, really special. The league's got 14 teams. In my opinion, I said this last year to you guys. I'll say it at Media Day. There's 7 to 8 teams, I think. Like last year, I told you there were 6, and there were, that can win the tournament. Now, win the regular season's different, but can win the tournament. We got a lot of fifth-year COVID all-league players that are getting their 5th year.
Around the league.
Correct. So it's a loaded from that aspect as well, too. So excited about that, about where we are and about where we're going. And also, too, we open up with number 1 Gonzaga, and then we got 3 Houston and 4 Kentucky. It'll be the first time ever in the history that we played, 3 top 5s. But, every year we go through that.
Yeah, make a new mark every year.
Well, and the problem is this year we had 7 high major teams wouldn't play us.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a board. We started a board, in the office.
And there were some no's on there.
No, there was a lot of X's out. I think there was a total of 13 teams that wouldn't play us, who wanted to play us. What happens in scheduling is they call you and you call me, and then we make a deal, and then that guy goes to the head coach, and then the head coach says, "Are you nuts?" First of all, they shoot threes.
Yeah.
And they got everybody back.
Yeah, and they got everybody.
So everybody gets whatever. But
that's interesting, though, and it makes some sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I think, but that's where, when you talk about right now, Georgia's, rolling and goes to South Carolina and does whatever they do there. And now they got Kent State. So they're really going to be flowing and going and doing the things that they do. Then you look at Florida State and you say, wow, nobody wants to talk about them. But winning 2 road games, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
When you win, I don't care who they are or where they're at.
Where they're at, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, Louisville, and they were in New Orleans for the opener.
That's a road game.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah.
Yeah.
Although they traveled well, they did, but you're right.
Yeah, but it's still
you're right.
road
They're
game.
back here.
Yeah, it's 100%.
They got a huge recruit today, by the way. Top 30 wide receiver. Big get for Mike Norvell. They're having. I said this, tweeted this right before the show. Florida State's having their best month I can remember, maybe in 5 or 6 years, like their best overall month on the field, off the field, everything. So
you think there's a correlation?
Yeah,
right?
probably.
I mean, it's.
Oh, there is a
They want to see if
correlation.
the
You know
ship's
that.
righted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Saturday night, big night. Of course, you can listen to Florida State right here on ESPN 690. Boston College. It's not a layup because nothing is for Florida State, but that would be a nice win under the lights. Place will be rocking.
Travis is back.
We'll see.
But he's
Have
like
they
hurt.
said anything, Casey, or is he? They're not going to say, right?
He's
They're gonna
practiced all week. He's going to play.
Yeah, I think he'll play. I do think he will play.
Yeah. Well, that looked a lot worse than if he can play.
But he pointed to it right away.
Yeah.
And my wife is mad at me because I said, he probably whatever.
Yeah.
She's like,
Wait.
hold on a second. Then he walked off. And I'm like, well, if he's walking off, then it might be his Achilles.
Well, true.
When you walk, you can walk on it, But anyways, Justin Fields.
So back to you guys real quick. When is this? It's going to be up against it now. You guys were on a tight window to finish the UNF arena.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fantastic.
First of all, if you followed along on Twitter and you see it's a whole different level. The hospitality is a whole different level.
Yeah.
What it's going to do. The $1 million scoreboard was huge when we won our first championship, and then we got the seating along the sideline and all that. The game experience in and of itself. The floor is 30 years old, and it was time to. So the correlation was, let's do that. Well, let's do this, and let's kind of put those together at the same time. Since we got this going on, let's knock this out. She's talking over $3 million. Which is really, really cool. And kudos to Nick and his staff. and for the two companies for managing it, because it's two separate companies, and that's not easy.
Yeah, Bank of England and the CSI companies are
They're the two sponsors, but I'm talking about the construction,
companies.
companies. You know, that's not easy.
Yeah, that's
like, hey, guys, y'all need to no dust
don't
today.
go here.
Well, no dust today because we're painting. And we're bringing in cement, so you can't work on the floor. So there's a lot of stuff that goes along with it. True. And then Bank of England, obviously, bricks is going to be inside it. And then Mr. Haight, John and Jerry Haight is the balcony, and then CSI, what they've done, what they're doing, and what that's going to look like.
It's going to be beautiful.
So, yeah,
it's going to look good.
Yeah.
Can't
Naming of the arena is coming.
Oh yeah.
You never know. You never know. That's next.
Like I always say, man.
You never know.
Crypto better go in a hurry.
But do you know how many people? But do you know how many people come into our arena though?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
ESPN 690 arena.
But all the graduations, all the programming,
all this. It's used outside of just even.
Have you read the Coffee Bean?
John Gordon.
John Gordon is like a co-author.
Okay, I haven't read it.
Damon West.
Yeah, I haven't read it.
He's coming to speak in January.
Good deal.
Yeah, great story. Great.
Coffee Bean, good one.
Unbelievable. Got out of prison in like 2016 or 17.
Okay.
Yeah. You know what it was? Quarterback. College. Tore his ACL. Oxycontin.
Downfall.
Yeah. Yep.
How did
we get?
Here we go. I don't know.
How did we get off on that?
I don't know, but we got to go back to
high school
Justin
football.
Herbert.
Oh, Herbert. Okay.
Because
he was a heck of a high school player.
Yeah, he was in college, and right now he's a heck of an NFL player. But the big story around Justin Herbert today, here's the things changed, right? We wondered, would he play? I think everybody was anticipating Justin Herbert's going to play Sunday. He's going to play. He was practicing. They're saying he's feeling better. Okay, he's going to give it a go. Well, today, out of practice, the reports were Justin Herbert not throwing the football when the media was out there. Chase Daniel taking the first team reps. And then after practice, he said the ribs feel better, feel fine, but I'm going to be a game time decision on Sunday, and I'm going to work out before the game and then go from there. So then there's another report from Jonathan Jones. The rib cartilage is still an issue. It's getting better, but what's the risk reward playing him in game 3 or not? And that's what they are messing around with the Chargers and trying to figure out. Casey, you take all that information that I just gave you and the new information today. Like, I don't know where you were yesterday, but I was like, I think he's going to play. They're going to work. They're going to try to fix a game plan around him, get the ball out of his hands, run the ball more with Eckler, take care of him. They're not going to make him a sitting duck, but he's going to give it a go and try to play. I think he's going to do this. Today, I'm completely opposite. I saw all these reports. And I don't think he's playing on Sunday. I think this is a little bit of gamesmanship right now. They don't want to announce him out. Why not let Jacksonville think a little bit? Casey, I don't think he's playing Sunday. Do you feel the same or differently?
Yeah, Brent, I will tell you again, just to kind of repump the YouTube. I know you got a lot of driving around tonight because Stuart Weber's got you going all over the map, but there's a really good YouTube video. It's like 12 minutes, Brent. I know you know where to find it. Just type in Action Sports Jacks, you'll find it. That's how I felt yesterday. But I will tell you, since you asked, but you can still listen to the YouTube video, I didn't think he was going to play at all, because there's too much to lose for the Chargers. The division might not be that good, as good as we thought it was going to be at least. And it's week 3. You have a whole lot to lose if this guy gets hurt. The Jags are going to get after him. Whoever's playing quarterback is going to be hit on Sunday when the Jags are playing him. That is a fact. So I would take him out of harm's way. Now with this additional information, I don't know if he can't play, but if I'm the Chargers coaching staff, I do not play him to save the rest of the season, because he takes one bad hit and some ribs start breaking, and that's it for the season. Goodbye, the Chargers. Fired Brandon Staley, and you've lost another season.
Take us through this as a coach, Coach Driscoll. Like, you've done this before.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, hey, I don't feel they're ready. I'm not comfortable. Now, you have more games in a season than the NFL does, but this is a young season. If they lose Herbert for 5 weeks, their season could be over. He's that critical of a player. I mean, what goes on?
We had that scenario last year with a couple of different opportunities that came about with guys that were injured, and whether or not there's a difference between being injured and being hurt. And so you have to understand the differences between with your medical staff and what they're sharing with you. And then I'm a big believer in risk versus reward. Like, where's the risk versus the reward? Like, if something goes awry or something goes the way it's not supposed to go, where does that set us back? 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Whereas maybe if we take this one, and when you look at a guy like Chase Daniels, you can say whatever you want to say. I was in the Big 12 when he was in the Big 12. And I'm going to get, hey, Casey, I'm going to give you a trivia question, see how good you were. I pumped you up about how great you were.
Oh, boy.
They were number 1 in the country that year, Missouri, at one point. There was another Big 12 team that was number 1 in the country that year as well, too. that no one talks about with football. Do you remember who that was?
You gonna tell me Baylor?
Nope.
Kansas State.
Nope.
Kansas.
Kansas. Good job.
Yeah.
Who was the coach?
The big guy.
Yep, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Anyways,
I always want. Every time I say the big guy, I keep wanting to call him Rick Majerus, the Utah coach.
Yeah.
Remember?
Mangione.
Mangione. Yeah.
Yeah. But Dan, I saw him play, and I'm gonna tell you what. Now he's that one thing about him. You can laugh about. He made $41 million, and he's this longtime backup. And it sounds like Kavanaugh played at Pitt back when I was a kid. He was a longtime backup forever, right? Yeah. In the NFL, kick clipboards for some Super Bowls. The thing about Daniel is, like, he's got a hand. Like, them dudes are coming at him no matter who it is. So they were going to have a hard time with Herbert and have a hard time protecting with them dudes coming at him. I think they're probably, in the long run, better off letting Chase take that punishment.
Yeah, they probably, especially, again, I'll
Poor
also.
Chase.
Yeah, I know. I'll reiterate this, too, is that their offensive line is beat up. They're probably without their center, Lindsley. Slater's a very good player, like really, really good. The rest of them have not played well, and they could be banged up. So, I mean, it just all signs point to them trying to beat the Jags undermanned. And it didn't work out well for the Colts last week. It changes the way this game looks. Vegas thinks so much so that it's gone from a 7.5 point favorite to a 3.5 point favorite in the last few hours. So
NCAA doesn't let me bet, but that does tell a story.
Yeah, that tells a
they
little
know,
bit.
So, and they know.
They know.
They know. And they ain't happy right now with their team. So they know.
All right, we take a break. One more segment to go here to put a bow on the show and the week. From Trinity Christian, it's our game of the week, of course. Columbia, Trinity Christian. We got all sorts of high school coverage tonight. The Blitz Scoreboard Show coming up at 9 o'clock. You can listen to it on ESPN 690. You can watch it, and we'll show you live game action on social media, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. And then the Friday Night Blitz, 10:30 on Fox 30, and again at 11:15 on CBS 47 and Fox 30. Big night ahead. We'll put a bow on this one and then hand off to overtime with Kurtz and Middleton right after this on ESPN 690.
It's a doubleheader of ACC college football Saturday on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio, ESPN 690. Catch Clemson at Wake Forest Saturday afternoon. Pregame at 11:30, kickoff at noon. Then the undefeated Florida State Seminoles return home to face Boston College. The Florida State Tailgate Show starts at 5:30. Then Jeff Colhane, William Floyd, and Tom Block have the call of Knowles Eagles. Kickoff at 8 o'clock Saturday night on ESPN 690.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is officially open. Whether you're looking to board your pet during a vacation or looking for a place for them to play during the day, look no further. Forever Vets Pet Resort has officially opened its doors. With roomy, climate-controlled indoor play areas for big and small dogs, shaded outdoor play areas with a splash zone, and private cat condos including access to a cat tree-filled oasis, your pet will feel right at home. Forever Vets Pet Resort will provide a comfortable place for your pets while you're away and ensure your four-legged friend is safe and happy during their stay. Take advantage of a free day of play to all new clients. And if you purchase one night of boarding, you'll receive half off your next night. Want to learn more? Give us a call or go to forevervets.com. You can also stop by for a free facility tour. We're open 7 days a week with extended hours for your convenience. Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is now open for reservations. Go Tuckin', the most fun way to experience the best of Jacksonville. Whether it's a Jacksonville sightseeing tour in an open-air tuk-tuk or private transportation in their luxury Mercedes party limo, Go Tuckin' is top rated. Enjoy an exclusive Jacksonville public art tour, a residential architecture and history tour, or a Jack's Urban Core Brewery tour. Go Tuckin' offers locally guided tours for your next company outing, bachelor or bachelorette party, or a simple group outing with friends and family. Visit GoTUKN.com. Go Tuckin' of Jacksonville to schedule a Tuckin' good time today.
Hey, do you like beer?
Yeah.
What about great food and lederhosen? Then you're going to love the 3rd annual Oktoberfest at Kingmaker Brewing in Riverside, sponsored by One-to-One Financial Credit Union. Kingmaker has the only Oktoberfest in Jacksonville that spans 2 whole weekends, September 22nd to October 2nd. That's 10 days of good food, great beer, and amazing local businesses. Learn more or grab VIP tickets at kingmakerbrewing.com. Oktoberfest, September 22nd to October 2nd. Kingmaker in Riverside. Brought to you by Jacksonville's hometown credit union, One-to-One Financial. Duncan.
When I moved to Jacksonville 15 years ago, I found Nimnick Buick GMC. That led to the Acadia. I had a couple of them. And now the GMC Sierra truck, and I love it. I'm on my second one of those, all from Nimnick Buick GMC. GMC, we are professional grade. I know the product, the service, and I know the people. From Billy Nimnick to Jackie Lynch and James Jones. They've been my friends since 2008. Nimnick has been your friend in Jacksonville since 1941. NimnickBuickGMC.com. It's where I'll get my next truck, or maybe it'll be my kid's first vehicle at Nimnick Buick GMC.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's the Blitz Scoreboard Show every Friday night at 9 p.m. on ESPN 690. Join Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and the Hall of Famer Kevin Sullivan for scores, analysis, interviews, and live video of games on the ESPN 690 social media platforms.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the back of the tailgate on this GMC Sierra, Nimnick Buick GMC, bringing you our Fridays here from Trinity Christian and Columbia. We've got a 7:30 kick, so it's a little bit of a later kick, which means we definitely will show you live action from this. Marcel Robinson comes out, live camera, and we'll have that on our Blitz Scoreboard show. I try to tell everybody, like, listen, we want you to listen on the radio. That's great. But if you want the full taste of the Blitz Scoreboard show, a show that nobody else is doing, like I'm convinced nobody does it in the country in the high school ranks, because we have the ability to do it with our TV and radio stations in the same building. Well, we will have live game action and scores and analysis and reaction from coaches and our Hall of Fame coach, Kevin Sullivan, all on that show from 9 to 10:30. So think about, Coach, it's like the red zone for high school.
Oh, wow.
We're going to bring you live action, and you catch the end of this game, hopefully a couple other ones, wherever we can get the cameras to.
Every score?
We can't peek in on every
score?
Everyone. Well, every score as long as we can get them. But it is our edition of the Red Zone for the high school. So it's really a cool show. It's a fun show. We see live endings of great games.
Well, I think it really helps, too, with all the different way people can or can't get to places. And now if they like college football, if they like college football, but high school football, if they like high school football, they can just listen and watch and get it all in one place. So that's a cool deal that you do that.
Yeah, it's fun. And, again, a lot on Casey. He does a great job.
And a lot of Northerners have moved down here. So there is a lot of high school people that like high school football that maybe don't have a dog. You know what I mean? They
just want to go
don't
out
have
in
a
the
dog in a
community.
fight.
We see
Yeah,
that all the time. Absolutely. The crowds at some of these places are fantastic. And I'm looking forward to watching Ed White. I'm going to Ed White game. And Ed White's been good, and I think
We're
they're
going
really
to the
good.
Ed White game.
We're going to Ed White
Yeah.
game. That's right.
I got fired already as the intern.
Riverside and Ed
You're
White.
going to have me go get something, and then you're going to – where'd he go?
Where'd he go? You're going to have to get an Uber home or something.
Yeah.
Don't leave my hip, Coach, because I'll leave you behind. It's a tight schedule.
I'm with you. I'm here to help. Many hands make light work.
Absolutely. Hey, Casey, you want real quick on Florida State in the college slate tomorrow. Huge game for Florida State, man. I mean, they got all the momentum in the world, the latest recruiting news. You got to go get a dub under the lights at the Doak tomorrow.
Yeah, you got to do that. Sold out. The students will be there. It's going to be rowdy. You got a team that you're better than, and this was a game that we counted in the winnable category before they stole a couple that we didn't know if were winnable or not. So, yeah, they need to take care of that, take care of your business. But, yeah, it's a big game for FSU to go to 4-0, no doubt.
Well, how about this? Huge game in Knoxville, Tennessee as well. Yeah. That one's on CBS 47 tomorrow afternoon. And then we'll have full recap on SEC tonight right after that football game. But Florida and Tennessee. And
wow.
I mean, Tennessee feels really good. Florida, I don't know how to feel right now. It's the psyche of this game, Coach, is interesting because Florida has really owned Tennessee over the last couple of decades.
Just like the game earlier Coach Sullivan was talking about. Yeah. They won the lopsided. They've won whatever many.
Yeah, Bartram and St.
Augustine. Yeah, same thing. Like as soon as he said that, that's the first thing I thought about was, golly, that sounds like Tennessee, Florida.
Yeah, and it's, it used to be Kentucky, Florida, and now that's switched a little bit. So these things do change.
Is it Hurt? Is that the quarterback? What's Tennessee's quarterback? It's something like that. It's something like that.
But they just Heupel's a pretty good coach, Casey.
Yeah, against all odds.
He is at Tennessee.
Yeah,
against all odds.
Well, he's a Tennessee. I mean,
when they hired him at Tennessee, they weren't sure.
Well, they weren't sure of anything.
Well, the other thing too, though, Casey, to say that though, you weren't sure. Like, who would take the job too, based on some stuff they had going on.
Right.
So to get an offensive guy in this day and age, at least maybe if you put up enough points, maybe you can outscore him for a while until you figure it out on the other side. But they seem like I've seen them a little bit here and there. Pitt, I saw them against Pitt, and they seem like they've got it pretty good. But the quarterback, the one thing about him, they do run plays for him to run. Like, he's going to run, and his arm's really good too.
Florida fans want to see.
But I'm saying
their quarterback run.
He will.
It's a really interesting watch to be in that game tomorrow. Florida can gain a lot tomorrow
100%.
With a win. They could really gain a lot, kind of get this thing back on track. I think Billy Napier's a good coach, by the way, but it might just be a struggle of a year for the Gators, more so than we thought after that opener against Utah. All right, man, that was fun.
Well, now we got work to do.
Now we go to work.
We got to move.
Yeah, we go to work. I'll be on TV in a couple of minutes on CBS 47, and then, of course, Fox 30 as well over the next hour. And then we're on our way to Ed White Overtime. Kurtz and Middleton coming up next. Terrific, fun edition of Brent and Friends here on a Friday from Aaron Schachter to Kevin Sullivan to Matthew Driscoll to Casey Kurtz. Kurtz and Middleton take over from here. And then, of course, we got all our Friday night coverage starting at 9 o'clock. Thanks for hanging with us.
Blitz.
Here at Trinity Christian. Right? The Blitz is on. And on a Friday, all our coverage presented by Nimbic Buick GMC and Baker Sports. That'll do it from Trinity. Take it away, Casey. Have a good night, everybody.
Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter.
It's amazing.
Attention taxpayers. If you're facing IRS debt you can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of the new Taxpayer Relief Initiative to free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing, the IRS has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. You may qualify for significant tax savings. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number stored in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-219-3123. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or you even have years of unfiled tax returns, you may now find the relief that you need. Call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-219-3123. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-219-3123 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-219-3123.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now. 904-664-8214. 904-664-8214. That's 904-664-8214.
As the seasons change, one thing remains the same. Jacksonville is fueled by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about in Jacksonville, come hang with us and grab an ice-cold Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
If you are involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
We're ready to deal. Best Bet St. Augustine is now open. Experience the best in poker, simulcast wagering, and fun card games for all levels at Best Bet St. Augustine. Best Bet's newest card room features 49 gaming tables, a state-of-the-art sports bar, delicious wings, a full-service bar, and freshly made sushi. Open from 10 a.m. to 4 a.m. Monday through Friday and 24 hours on the weekends. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311. For promotions, go to bestbetjacks.com.
Go Tuckin', the most fun way to experience the best of Jacksonville. Whether it's a Jacksonville sightseeing tour in an open-air tuk-tuk or private transportation in their luxury Mercedes party limo, Go Tuckin' is top-rated. Enjoy an exclusive Jacksonville public art tour, a residential architecture and history tour, or a Jack's Urban Core brewery tour. Go Tuckin' offers locally guided tours for your next company outing, bachelor or bachelorette party, or a simple group outing with friends and family. Visit GoTuckN.com. Go Tuckin' of Jacksonville to schedule a Tuckin' good time today.
If you want to hit the road this summer in a fuel-efficient ride that's just right for the journey ahead, then listen up, because you need to rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. If you've tried to rent lately, then you know rental companies are short on inventory, but not our friends over at Arlington Toyota Rent-A-Car. Arlington has a whole lot of rental stock ready to rent at a great price. Plus, renting a Toyota is the best way to try it before you buy it. Arlington's even stocking 2022 models to rent. Just go to arlington.com, reserve your rental, and discover just how good Toyota Rent-A-Car can be.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
It says today the team hired a law firm to investigate now suspended head coach Ime Udoka. Grousbeck wouldn't comment on what it would take for Udoka to rejoin the organization after his suspension. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reports Udoka had a consensual relationship with a female team staffer. The Yankees have clinched a playoff spot, but Aaron Judge is still one home run away from Roger Maris's American League record. With the Yankees playing at home this weekend, veteran broadcaster Bob Costas says it would be fitting for the record to be broken in New York.
If it happens in the Bronx, then you have the echoes of history. It isn't just the American League record. Since the lively ball era and since Babe Ruth virtually invented the home run, that record has always been held by a Yankee. It was always Ruth, and then it was Maris.
Bob Costas on Greeny. ESPN Radio will have Judge's at Bats live during our coverage of the Braves and Phillies, which starts at 6:30 Eastern Time.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote Renter's Insurance at Progressive.com.
The championship rounds, championship bell Friday. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. No feet in the parking lot just yet, Brian Middleton. I know you got a weekend coming up, man, but not
for 4 hours, right?
Well,
4.5 hours, 4 hours and 25 minutes before the feet hit the parking lot. Casey Lamont Kurtz.
For me, at least, you're right about that. You're right about that. It is Championship Friday, Championship Bell Friday, the championship rounds, whatever you want to call it. But it is overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. The broadcast on Brian Middleton on the ones and twos, championship belt in tow, strapped over his right shoulder for those radio listeners.
I don't know what I would do if I came in here one day and like Brent took it to somewhere else, or maybe gave it to some kid that he was like, oh, you know what, I want that. It's my I earned this. I'm like, I would be hurt.
You would be.
I'd have to go find a trophy. I found a trophy place, by the way. Do you remember? We started talking about this, and you had to get another one. I was like, oh, maybe a trophy place. Okay.
Yes.
Not gonna say the name because they ain't paying no money.
No, they are not.
But it was it's in Arlington.
But if they want to pay money, they certainly can.
Sure
and
can.
then we will say their name a lot.
Hey.
We'll actually wear the belts more than just Fridays, maybe.
To be real with you.
But that's that's an advertising play. But anyway, overtime with Kurtz and Middleton on a Friday. And Brian, 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the show, I'm missing the credit you should be giving me after yesterday. You gave me a hard time yesterday about what I said about Justin Herbert. Now today, he doesn't throw a pass in practice. Officially questionable. Chase Daniel takes all the reps with the ones.
Yeah.
This guy's not playing.
Okay.
They made a business decision. So listen, you can hold out until Sunday.
No, I didn't say that.
You can hold out if you don't want to give me my flowers for being right. That's fine. Hold out, Brian Middleton. I'd actually rather you hold out because it makes for better radio. But we're both know the inevitable. I'm right. But most importantly, Justin Herbert's not playing in this football game.
First of all, I didn't say that he wasn't going to play. I said it'd be a horrible look if he didn't.
And it's a fine
look. As a
look.
matter of fact, I said, Casey Kurtz, that if they came to the Chargers faithful, you were like 8 people. I laughed, and I was like, yeah,
All
the
7
Chargers
of them.
faithful.
All 6 of them.
I was like, and they came out and
Down to
said that,
4.
and they pulled Herbert and said, hey, we just want to, we thought we could take the Jags anyway, even though they would package it differently. Then I finally would be like, okay. But ultimately, it's a bad look. Listen, guys, this guy ain't no way you can tell me that he don't want to play. Not.
I agree with that.
That the team isn't looking at him and saying, hey, listen, maybe, let's weigh this out. If he's the guy that you think he is, if he's as talented and he's going to be the next coming of the top tier QB, he's going to be up there with the top guys at the end of this season. Let me tell you something about all those guys that we think are, great, that are ahead of him at some point in their career against teams that we think might have been meaningless, but it's a regular season game. This ain't the preseason. They went out there and they played. Tom Brady's Super Bowl year played without like a tendon or a ligament or something was sprained or torn.
You don't need all your tendons and ligaments.
I don't care. I don't care if they actually pull him, Casey. That wasn't the point. The point is this would be a terrible look. And at that point, I don't want to hear nothing about Justin Herbert being better than Lamar Jackson until he proves something else to me. Okay?
Our wild
we would go back to that.
still.
We would go right back to that because I'm like, okay, listen. This guy's supposed to be the guy. I understand. You said he doesn't have a left tackle. He don't have a right guard. He don't have a right tackle. He don't have an offensive line. Apparently, it's going to be 7 on 11 or 6 on 11.
It's an
when
unfair
he goes
advantage,
out there.
absolutely.
And you know what?
Not an offensive lineman
The great ones
inside.
figure it out. The great ones figure it out. I'm not saying they always do it on their own. It's a team sport. But the great ones figure it out. It don't matter who's out there running routes or blocking. You look up at the end of 4 quarters or the end of overtime, and what they're doing, celebrating another win. Week 3, because that's what they do. That's what you do in football. You gut it out.
You are wild and reckless. Like, we're not going to spend all show on this, but this is crazy.
I want to make sure you understand. I don't have to give you any flowers because my point wasn't that the Chargers wouldn't take them away. I said it's a bit foolish for Brandon Staley to be getting his information from a Jags fan of, 20 years. But, hey, okay, if he wants to do that, that's fine. But it's a bad look. It just is. And one more thing, Casey, and then I'll give you the floor. You can try to combat all these things. Listen.
I will.
The NFL. I don't care what you're predicting this guy's going to be. You're here right now. Now, are you injured or are you hurt? Because there's guys out there that's playing for contracts that you're never going to know their name unless you're super into fantasy or, you just follow the chart. You're the Chargers beat writer. but they made it on the 53-man roster. You got vets out there that ain't worried about the fact that, okay, your ribs are sore, or you did not practice, or your practice was limited. I don't know the extent of his injury, by the way.
I'm not throw a ball today.
So did he throw earlier this week? Because I saw limited earlier this week.
One of 3
it?
days.
So he did throw
but
earlier this week.
But he did not throw 2 of 3 days.
Okay, that's fine. So he did throw. My point is this. You got other guys that are out here trying to get another contract, trying to win. This may be their last go-around. Listen, man.
Agreed.
It's fine if they pull him. And if they do, I'd be like, well, it's just as foolish as what I thought it was going to be, and it will be a bad look. And when you try to insert him into the topic throughout the rest of this year, I don't care if he comes back and has a great year. Unless he's actually injured. I'm talking about, they need to say, he's injured. It can't be this kind of, I get the fact that they're not wanting to give away the actual game plan, who the Jazz could prepare for. I get that. But after this game, at some point, they need to be like, okay, he's out with an actual rib injury. Because right now what it sounds like is, he got really hurt. You can see he's hurt, but is he not so hurt to where he can't play? This feels like more like maybe some gamesmanship on the Chargers' part. I think he's going to play. I just think he's going to at least give it a go.
So just to be clear, let me lock you in, right? You've locked me in on many a take. Let me lock you in on this one. If they hold him out of the game, you're going to hold it against Justin Herbert that he didn't play? Because, they're not going to come out and say, You
get all the credit. Listen.
Okay, so you're going to hold it against them.
Listen, you get most of the credit. You get a lot of the credit as a QB, and you're going to catch a lot of this backlash. You're just going to. Because if Justin Herbert's like, listen, shoot me up. I can make this happen. I'm going to play. They're not going to be like, no. Sorry. Even at his young age right now, even though he hasn't really done anything, to the point where you're talking about accolades, but we can see it on the horizon for him. If he wants to go out there and play and give it a go, he can override the head coach. He can override the GM. He can go straight to the owner and be like, give me a series, give me 2 series, let me fill it out at the very least. Give Chase, Daniels, give him 80% with the first team because I know what I'm doing with the first team. But let me give it a go because I'm the best option for this team. So, yeah, I got to hold it against him. It's the way to be fair.
Fair enough. I just want to lock you in. The best coaching decision that Brandon Staley has ever made will be to not play Justin Herbert in this game. It's the best one he's made so far. Because he's made some questionable ones. Probably, but I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about that. Come on now. It'll be the best decision he's made because you saved the season by not getting this guy hurt.
How do you know? How do you know you're saving the season? How do you know? Exactly.
Because the math adds up.
You got to try to win every game you can because things get wonky throughout the rest of the regular season.
How about this? Have a backup quarterback that you're confident in.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
If they had Gardner Minshew as their backup right now, they'd be like, you know what? We're okay with that.
Well, they don't.
But they got 85-year-old Chase Daniel, by the way, power to him. He's made a lot more money than I ever will.
Whoa.
And
hold on now. Let's not.
Chase Daniel made like $50 million.
No, that's a lot of money. But let's not. That second part. Let's not manifest that lack of
we do gotta
success.
Start rolling on that. But listen, good for him. He's going to get a start in my mind because he's going to start this football game. He's going to play. Listen, the spread went from 7-3. Vegas knows. They know. All right, they know what's happening here. So, anyway, Justin Herbert did not throw in practice today. Keenan Allen also not participating in the actual part of practice. J.C. Jackson not participating. Here's what we can confirm. The Jags will have to stop a pass rush. They will have to stop Joey Bosa. They will have to stop Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Outside of that.
Because them boys said, hey, you know what? Our names are not on that report.
They are not. And they will have to stop Austin Eckler on the offensive side. Mike Williams as well. But outside of that, Keenan Allen, J.C. Jackson, Justin Herbert, offensive line, a bunch of questions there.
I am telling you right now.
We don't know.
Well, we don't know, but I'm telling you right now, as much as your take and your viewpoint on this seems to have gained a lot of steam and maybe it's moved into the top spot or tied for the top spot, there is a game plan right now that takes into the account of getting the ball out of Justin Herbert's hands as fast as possible, relying on Eckler even more, their run game even more, figuring out ways to, okay, maybe it can't be a 5-step. Maybe it's a lot of 3 steps. I mean, he can see over the line. Like, it can be quick. So, it can be a quick pass. We can get the ball out of his hands. Let's not keep it in and give that Jags defense the opportunity to possibly test out whether or not, he was lying about his ribs or not. So, hey, listen, I can't wait to see what happens Sunday. It's a win-win for me, because if they let him play, I'm going to look at you on Sunday morning and be like, see, it's the way that it has to be. And if they don't, the Jags don't got to face Justin Herbert.
I agree.
I win no matter what.
That is true. You might actually. But I'm also going to win because they're not going to face Justin Herbert. Anyway, let's move on to the Jags part of it. And they have their first guy on the injury report all season, and that is Shaq Griffin. So I said to Brent when that popped up, by the way, Shaq Griffin, only guy on the injury report with a hip. He's officially questionable. Okay? So that's what we know. I said to Brent, I said, hey, you were down there earlier. Any murmurs? Did you know this was coming out? And he said no. And I'm going to take you inside the business. Probably not supposed to. Usually they know. There's a little bit of a heads up sometimes. Brent didn't know. So what that tells me is it probably happened at practice today. Little situation with Shaq Griffin and the hip. I'm not a doctor, and I don't know the full story. But I'm telling you he's on the injury report, and I'm telling you he's questionable.
Very nice, Casey Kurtz. The way that you came to that conclusion right there, man. Deducing the situation. I don't think deduce is the right word or a word at all, but very.
I did what I could.
Very Law and Order. You know what I mean? When the opening scene, when they're trying to investigate, and then there's some witty remark at the end when there's a dead body on the ground still. Yeah. You could be one of those. You could be Lenny.
I could, but Shaq is very much alive. Let's not confuse that.
Okay.
But yeah, we don't know if he will play. Questionable. I think he would, and you want him to play, but. If Keenan Allen's not going to play, and I don't want to play this game, by the way, if he's out, this guy can afford to be out. I don't want to play that game. It's still the Jags and the Chargers. But
you're
Tyson Campbell's going to be on Mike Williams.
Okay.
And if Keenan Allen doesn't play, do you trust a Darius Williams, Super Bowl champ, to slide to the outside and cover Josh Palmer? Yeah, I feel pretty good with that. Like if Shaq couldn't go, again.
Look at you.
I imagine Shaq's going to go.
Campaigning for it.
But I'm just saying, if you were not going to have one of your corners in this week, finding out Keenan Allen not playing would be a little bit of a relief versus if he was playing. Because then we'd be like, oh, boy, it might be a long day because Keenan Allen's great and Mike Williams is really good, and there's only one Tyson Campbell. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But Shaq Griffin is on the injury report. The first Jag on the injury report this season. They made it up to week 3 on Friday. Isn't that incredible?
It is. I'm surprised.
How does that happen?
Well, there's a lot of tough guys on the Jags, too. You know that, man.
You hate Justin Herbert.
I don't hate him.
You do.
No, that's a false narrative.
I'm going to push it. There's no doubt I'm going to push it.
Well, absolutely.
There's definitely something deep there with you and Justin Herbert.
Absolutely nothing.
I'm going to show you in the break my picture that I have with Justin Herbert.
You got a picture with him. Of course you do. Casey,
we're friendly.
The people know, that you run in different circles, right? And
we're
it's
friendly.
been like that since you've been like 15, right? They know that, right?
No, they don't.
Okay.
And we don't have time. Bring the music. We got to go to break. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton on a Friday. Championship rounds, championship bell Fridays. We go to hit our first break of the day. By the way, Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up in about 35 minutes time. That's quick math. I might be wrong, but it's coming up at 6:50. And they will take you up until about 8:50, 8:55. Sometimes we get uncomfortably to like 8:57, and then the producer's freaking out. And that's okay. We'll work through it. And then we go to the Friday Night Blitz. Brent Martineau, the Hall of Famer, Coach Kevin Sullivan. I will be here. Brian Middleton might be here as well, taking some notes, doing some things. I may be out in a couple of weeks, so I think Brian's going to step in for me. That's why they call him the broadcast Don. He's ready at all times to produce, host, or both a great program right here on ESPN 690. So that's what we got coming up. But me and Brian Middleton have more to do. We got some college football to talk about. There's other games in the NFL. The top 5 NBA players came out according to ESPN, and I've got some flack with it. We will touch on that and then maybe even close out the show with some I Said What I Said. So a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it, but we pick up on it after the break. We'll be right back.
Florida State football is back on Jacksonville's home for ESPN 690. Saturday night, the Seminoles are back home to take on Boston College. Our coverage starts at 5:30 with the Florida State Tailgate Show. Then Jeff Colhane, William Floyd, and Tom Block have the call from Doak Campbell Stadium of Knowles Eagles. Kickoff at 8 o'clock Saturday night. Catch Florida State football all season long on Jacksonville's home for the Garnet and Gold, Seminole football on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690. Partly cloudy, a bit breezy this evening, but cool overnight temperatures down into the 60s. Then we are mostly sunny and mild on Saturday. Afternoon highs make the mid-80s, but the humidity stays low, so while it'll be warm, it'll still be pretty comfortable. Have a great weekend. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Corey.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where now you can buy like a dealer buys.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hi, this is Mal Washington. The Malavia Washington Youth Foundation provides after-school and summer programs for youth in Jacksonville's urban core. Learn more about the foundation at malwashington.com. Want to offer hope and change a child's life? Please consider joining the Malavia Washington Youth Foundation once a week to mentor a child. Visit malwashington.com to learn more. Want to change a life but don't have time to volunteer? Consider sponsoring a child today. It's your serve. Visit malwashington.com to learn more.
God, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending Ooma and their all-in-one phone, video, and collaboration solution.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Did you know that you have the power to positively impact a local child's life? It's as easy as donating to Daniel, Florida's oldest child service agency. Daniel provides counseling to abused children. Daniel helps homeless teens find shelter and learn to live independently. Daniel connects kids with foster families and strengthens at-risk families so they can stay together. They've done all this and more for 135 years. Please become a part of improving the lives of local children and families by donating at danielkids.org today.
The Florida Theater hosts Yes, the Close to the Edge 50th Anniversary Tour on October 13th. ESPN 690 has your tickets. Log on to ESPN690.com and register to win tickets to see Yes 50th Anniversary Tour honoring longtime Yes drummer Alan White.
Championship rounds, championship bell Fridays, overtime with Kurtz and Middleton, ESPN 690. Going into a game weekend for the Jacksonville Jaguars, they will head to Los Angeles, California for the second straight year to play a different team. Last year, the Rams. This year, the Chargers. I don't know if you heard, Brian, there's other football action, though, outside of the Jags. We've spent a lot of time. Frankly, this week, we have spent more time on one single person than any other time in the history of the show.
Your favorite quarterback in the league.
Well, listen, he's just a gamer. You know what I'm saying? But we cannot continue to spend time on this guy. I didn't show you my picture in the break. I'll show you in the next break. But
okay.
Anyway, there's other games going on this weekend and a lot of good ones, a lot of desperate teams. We get to week 3. You got teams that need wins. You got the game that I'm looking at, by the way. We'll start in the NFL. We'll go to some college as well. You know, we appreciate the college football around here. But the game I'm looking at, Brian Milton, when I'm saying 2 desperate teams that need wins that I think will be a good football game, is the Titans and the Raiders. Both teams 0-2, surprisingly 0-2, at least for the Raiders for sure. The Titans, maybe they are that bad. But I thought the Raiders were going to be pretty good. I'm surprised by how bad they've been this season. Both teams desperate for a win, Brian Middleton. Are you leaning one way or another in the Raiders-Titans game, which will take place in Nashville, Tennessee?
Yeah, I think the Raiders are probably the better team right now. And The thing is, when you have a game like how the Raiders did where you were seemingly in command and it just everything that could go wrong went wrong. Everything that went right for the opposing team, the Cardinals, just went right. You can't even put two hands on Kyler Murray on a couple of plays. I think that those losses in general with guys at that particular level, guys and girls, but we're talking about the NFL, at that level, it eats at them, the majority of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you lose that way, it eats at you even more. And so I think that they're chomping at the bit to get back on the field. And they, honestly, at least should have one win right now. Someone
Maybe
would
two.
probably argue two. Yeah, exactly. Would argue two. But I think that they're probably the better team. The Titans just have not looked good. And even against the Giants, even though they, had the lead for a little bit in that game, they haven't looked good. And so if I'm just going straight off of what's on paper, and then kind of like the eye test of what I've seen, just highlight-wise, I haven't watched all their games, from front to end. I'm going to go with the Raiders on this one right here. But I also went with the Steelers. So, take it with a grain of salt.
I went with the Steelers as well, and they do not get the win. The Browns get the win on Thursday Night Football, by the way. But I'm with you. I'm on the Raiders. I think they could have 2 wins because they played the Chargers well in week 1. They just couldn't get it done. And then last week was a blow-up of all blow-ups. By the way, the Raiders are -2 in that football game. I think I'd be interested in that. No gambling picks for the weekend from Jenkins Jr. because he continues to give us bad picks, so we told him to take a week off. And we'll try to get next week with Jenkins Jr. So that's the update there. But I will tell you, -2 Raiders, I'm all over that. But again, what do I know? Stick it in the division, by the way. Chiefs and the Colts. I don't think that one's going to be close. Colts are at home for the first time this season. Give me the Chiefs. Big, huge, ginormous. Chiefs kill them, in my opinion.
And just in case, for some crazy reason, you weren't starting Edwards-Helaire, I think this would be a great game to do that. Just saying on your fantasy. We're just kind of merging segments right here.
Yeah, we are. It's good. I like it. I would start CEH as well. I am playing him in every league I have him. Hey, this one's going to be a good one, too. And you know what I like about all these games I've told you about? I'm very interested in the Raiders game I told you about. I will keep tabs on the Colts. Another game, the Bears and the Texans, I will keep tabs on because of the quarterbacks. All these games are in the early window that we're talking about right now, which is exciting because the Jags play at 4. So you can watch some of these games and games you wouldn't usually get to see because they're rivaling the Jags, and obviously you're watching the Jags. So this one I think is going to have a lot of eyes on it. The Bills at 2-0, number 1 in the power rankings for smart people, and the Dolphins at 2-0, somewhere in the power rankings, top 10 for the Dolphins. But 2 undefeated teams. The Bills have to go down to Miami. Brian Middleton, you worried about that weather or what? They're going to be able to take the heat.
Make it hot. Hey, man, it's different in September down there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This ain't going to be no 75 and cool. Well, I don't know with the weather, the way that it's popping, it may be. But normally in September, it's not going to be 75, 80, with 20% humidity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Buffalo?
Yeah.
So you got to be super focused out here, man. Don't melt.
Don't melt. That's a good one. I like it. Another one in the early window. Lions and the Vikings. That should be a good one.
I think it'll be a good game. But, not for, Kirk Cousins, though. It's not because of Kirk Cousins, though. Just want to let you know.
You are wild.
And also, by the way, I think that you're dealing with 2 really good running backs there at the very least. So, hey, yeah. I like this. I like this matchup just to watch this game. But you got the upstart Detroit Lions with your Amon-Ra, Casey Kurtz energy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you got the Vikings who are kind of, not upstarts, but, people think that they're going to be a good team. They've been a good team.
Yep.
So, hey, let's watch some good football here. Divisional matchup, too, so it's important.
I'm with that. Should be a good overreaction Monday with all those matchups, by the way. Last one I'll ask you about before we go to college football. Your Panthers going to win a football game or what?
Got to be real with you, Casey Kurtz?
No, they're not.
It won't be this week.
0-17. Really?
It won't be this week.
Even if Jameis doesn't play? You don't think they can beat the Saints without Jameis?
I have watched them give games away.
Okay. And
they still got to deal with the Saints defense. Jameis don't play defense.
He does not.
So,
as far as I understand.
So, and defense is, yeah. So, anyway, yeah.
So, no.
I don't think it'll be this week. But, yeah, they'll win some games. They'll turn it around. Matt Rule. That's all.
We'll just let it sit for a second.
Let it soak. Anyway, what else we got?
Yeah, they update. Panthers will win, just not this week. College football. We'll save one that's a big matchup. That's where game day's going. We'll save that one for a second, but we'll start with a game that's on ESPN 690. You can hear it tomorrow starting at 11:30 with kickoff at noon. And that is the Clemson Tigers as they travel to Wake Forest. Brian Middleton, I tell you this, Sam Hartman's back for Wake. You know how I feel about Sam Hartman.
You love him.
And he will beat the Clemson Tigers tomorrow.
Just 1 on 11. He'll beat him. I like it.
He is him. I seriously do think Wake will win. I am not impressed with Clemson. They have a good defense, but Sam Hartman, I think, is good enough to score on their defense. Not at will. They're not going to put up 30. They're not going to put up 40, I don't think. But I think they will put up in the 20s, 24, 28, somewhere in that category. And I don't know if Clemson can keep up because they've scored points, but not against teams like this. Wake is a good team. They have an underrated defense. I think they win the football game. Do you disagree with me? Both teams 3-0, by the way.
Yeah. No,
Clemson number 5, Wake number 21.
I'm looking at it. Georgia Tech, Furman, Latte.
Nothing so far.
Yeah, it's
a bad schedule point for Clemson, I think. Their first real test is a good team that can beat them.
Yeah, it's been an underwhelming number 5 in the nation, Clemson team. And, after the bad taste that they left in my mouth, and I'm sure plenty of the Clemson fans' mouth, last year, especially at quarterback play, they can get got. So what's the line on that?
What a professional way to ask it. Clemson -7, so they are the favorites by 7 points, even on the road, which is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm all over Wake +7. I think they win the football game. I'm serious. I think they really do. And if you're giving me 7 points with that, they have the better quarterback. And in college football, if you have the better quarterback, I like your odds. They might have the better coach.
And here's the other thing.
I said it.
Wow. Yeah, well, you hate Dabo. Like I know we throw false narratives around, but you truly do like Dabo.
Well,
that's some off the air stuff on people. But if you do your
we're
research,
on the air though.
Yeah, that's what I'm not gonna say. If you do your research though, you can find out why Casey Kurtz and Dabo are beefing in real life. But it could be a situation also, Casey, that maybe Clemson's looking ahead to NC State, who they play the following week, and that's a big matchup.
And they got him last year, I do believe. Yeah, they definitely got him last year.
So you a lot of things playing into how this game could turn out, but it'll definitely be a good game. I do believe that.
College game day will be in Knoxville.
They still 11th?
They still 11th.
Come on, man. Can we get a midweek revote?
An update? Well, I have a good feeling they will either be at 11 or higher after they play the Florida Gators, the 20th ranked team in the nation, at 3:30 on CBS 47 is where you can watch it. Tennessee is a 10.5 point favorite over the Florida Gators.
Wow.
10.5 points. And guess what?
And you saying that's all?
And guess what?
What, Casey?
If I'm betting that game, Tennessee -10.5.
Wow.
The way the Florida Gators have looked in the last 2 weeks, if Tennessee, we're going to find out about Tennessee. You don't think they're the number 11 team in the nation? Neither do I. I think we can agree on that. But they are, at the moment, so much better than the Florida Gators. And here's why. You had identical games last week. Tennessee played Akron. The Gators played USF. One team won by 60, and one team won by 7. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Tennessee takes care of their business. They're a better team right now, Brian.
Casey, so impromptu cash it or trash it.
Yes.
Tennessee wins and is a top 10 team after the rankings come out next Monday.
I'm going to trash it.
Okay.
Because I don't see any of these other top 10 teams losing. So who are you going to take out? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Georgia's going to roll. Michigan's not losing to Maryland. Sorry, Scott Kornberg, if you're already listening to the show, but that's not going to happen. Kentucky's not going to lose to Northern Illinois. Bama's not losing to Vanderbilt. Ohio State's not losing to Wisconsin. USC ain't losing to Oregon State. Like, these things just aren't going to happen. So I think they win and they stay right there. Because I also think if they stomp the Florida Gators, the committee's going to be like, or the AP who's doing the voting right now, is going to be like, the Gators aren't that good. It's not that impressive of a win. We overdid the Gators when they beat Utah, and now they're getting stomped by everybody in almost USF. So,
2-1. Okay. All right, man.
It's been not impressive for the Florida Gators, a team that has been impressive. Another game you can hear right here on ESPN 690. It's going to be sold out in the student section at Doak Campbell for the Florida State Seminoles. They will play Boston College, 3-0, looking to go to 4-0 for the first time. The game is on the station. It starts at 5:30. Boston College is 1-2. Brian Middleton, when we come in here on Monday, the Florida State Seminoles will be 4-0 and rolling. Yes or no? Okay. I was expecting Stone Cold there.
Oh.
Give me a hell yeah.
Yeah, that felt better.
Yeah. Nothing's perfect.
Yeah,
Brian.
man. Listen, Mike Norvell has these guys going in the right direction. I haven't followed closely enough to know what the Jordan Travis update was.
So I believe he will play.
But that makes it even more concrete, in my opinion. These guys have been able to pull out wins so far, first 3 weeks of this season, even when there was a bit of a pushback and turmoil that happened against that the Louisville team. So yeah, man, 4-0, gonna keep rolling. Coach's show will come back on Monday. Michael will be sounding all chippy and upbeat, and rightfully so. I'm happy for him. Of course, I'm wearing my Carolina stuff right here, but I'm happy for, Florida State so far in the season, knowing everything that they went through, on top of everything that all of these players across the nation went through, with the COVID, the shutdown, and then coming back and trying to play. And he was a new coach, and he was trying to come in and trying to implement his system after, some down years with Florida State. So I'm happy that they're 3-0, and I do think that they're going to, be 4-0 after this game.
They are, but this is one of the games. If you're a Florida State fan, you haven't been in this position in a while. You've been winning games that not necessarily people picked you to win. LSU, Louisville was a game that you were picked to win, but things got tight without your quarterback. You battled through, so you're in a good position as a team. This is the game you can't slip up. Boston College, they're not that good, but they can run a offense that can confuse you. This is a game that Mike Norvell needs to be locked in, and they need to take care of their business. This is the game for Florida State, for my money, that they need to win big. You've skated by in a couple of these games, rightfully so. You lose your quarterback, it just turns into a win situation, and they did it. You know the story with LSU. They need to win a game big against a real school, not a week 1 game that you paid the school $2 million to play. Boston College is an ACC opponent. Take care of your business, beat them big, and have everybody excited. And I'm telling you, Mike Norvell's the guy. I don't even think we're asking that question anymore. We have been for a while. He's the guy. And by the way, the next couple of games for FSU are Wake and Clemson.
And when was the last time they started off 4-0? I mean, was that the championship year?
Well, it was the first time they were 3-0 since 15.
Okay.
So it's either 14 or 15. But yes, it's been a long time since Jimbo and Jameson, the boys. Yeah. So it's been a minute. It's been I shouldn't say historic, but it's been something that FSU fans haven't seen in almost 10 years. This start.
Wow.
Now, granted, those teams aren't this team. This is different. Jordan Travis is a good player, but he wasn't the player that, Jameis Winston was. So, but he's been in the system. He's been with Mike Norvell. He's learned, and I think he's a really good player. I think he's exciting. He's willing them to wins, and he's really excelling. I hope he does play, and I hope he's healthy for FSU, for the fans and everybody, because this could be a moment for FSU. This could be a 40-point win at home on a Saturday night with a rocking stadium, and this might be the we're back game. Like, you know how the U's been back like 18 times? FSU might be back for real.
Wow.
So we'll have to see what happens. But all I know is you can hear the game right here on ESPN 690 after you listen to Clemson and Wake on a Saturday. And then on Sunday, me and Brian Middleton will be here in the morning, the broadcast on, and we will get you set for the Chargers and the Jags. And then you got Sunday Night Football on the station. And then, boom, it's Monday, and it's Monday Morning Madness. And it's MJD at 3. It's Rasheed Mathis at 4. It's me and Brian Middleton until 7:30. And then it's Monday Night Football. We got a lot going on around here, Brian Middleton. But the one thing we don't have going on is the music. Where's my music, Brian Middleton? We got to hit this break.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that we were going to break, man.
Yeah,
I thought we
man.
had some more stuff. There's so many more games to talk about. It's so great.
There is. But we only have so much time because we got Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up. So we hit this break. We're going to mention this NBA thing. If you got more games, we're going to talk about them. And we're going to get in a quick I said what I said. All before we go to Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. A lot to do. Championship rounds. Championship belt Friday. And we got 0 feet in the parking lot for at least 15 more minutes. More to do. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. We'll be right back.
Tobacco-Free Florida has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of Quit Aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics, like 80s rock anthems.
Now, and I'm so proud. You're the greatest quitter of all. Go free, won't you believe? You're right there where you want. You're staying strong, you're standing tall. You're a quitter on a mission to be. You're the greatest quitter. Quitter. You're the greatest.
Ah, cool. Lasers. Yeah, that's awesome. Maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Back in the day, crime was someone stealing something off the patio. Today, it's violent crime. Oftentimes, the bad guys hack into cameras and doorbells, steal your privacy, and break into your house while you or your loved ones are home. Criminals today are much smarter and more violent. You simply cannot fight today's criminals with do-it-yourself alarms. That's why you need a safe touch security and surveillance system with its 5 layers of detection and protection. Number 1, the safe touch sign. Crooks know to stay away from safe touch houses. Number 2, cameras using analytic technology that alerts the bad guys they are on camera while simultaneously alerting you, the homeowner. Number 3, entry alerts that notify Safe Touch before the bad guys even enter. Number 4, the exclusive Safe Touch two-way communicator that immediately alerts local emergency authorities. And number 5, the Safe Touch central monitoring center that is right here and not in some remote, out-of-state location. Don't delay. Demand is at an all-time high. Call and receive professional installation at no charge. 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com, state license EF233.
Is your digital marketing strategy keeping you up at night? Do you have more questions than answers? CMG Local Solutions can help you take all the guesswork out of digital marketing. Let CMG Local Solutions create the best marketing plan for your global, regional, or local business. CMG Local Solutions has the right tools to fit your business's marketing needs.
Learn more at cmglocalsolutions.com/Jacksonville. That's cmglocalsolutions.com/Jacksonville.
The year's best diamond opportunity is going on now, and only at Beard's Diamonds.
Backed by popular demand for a limited time, Beard's Diamonds is doing something unheard of and never done before in Jacksonville.
Now you can buy like a dealer buys.
For a limited time, Beard's Diamonds has cut the price on the largest and most beautiful diamond jewelry and GIA certified loose diamonds you've ever seen.
Buy like a dealer buys. Incredible savings now at Beard's Diamonds.
For a limited time, buy wholesale and GIA certified loose diamonds, diamond earrings, diamond bracelets, and more.
No markups, no retail gains, and never a commission.
Extra inventory has been brought in just for this one-of-a-kind spectacular diamond event.
Our vaults are filled with thousands to choose from half carats to 10 carats.
Ovals, rounds, pairs, emerald cuts, cushions, all cuts, all shapes, and all at wholesale prices.
Prices so good, even other jewelry store owners will be in line with you. But hurry, this exclusive Buy Like a Dealer Buys wholesale event won't last long.
Only at Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com. See store for complete details.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everybody, it's Brett Morneau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with the ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Wild to me, Brian Middleton. Absolutely wild.
What is?
Yesterday we talked about 6 through 10 in the NBA poll from ESPN, top 10 players in the league, top 100, but we talked about 6 through 10. Justin Kuzart was here. We had some conversation about it. So then, when I wake up today, by the way, woke up at 8 a.m., tell you about that, and I said what I said. I'm really mad I did it, and I will tell you why, but I see this list here. Top 5 players in the NBA. Giannis, book it. Joker, I'm sure that made you happy, Brian. Made me happy. Luka Doncic. Joel Embiid. Curry at number 5. How many times does this guy have to do it to you? How many times does this guy have to win a championship and take his team to the championship and just be great? How many times, and you're still going to disrespect him? At 5? At 5? How many championships Embiid won? How many Luka won? How many Joker won? Add them all up. Hell, throw Giannis in there. They all got one together with Giannis. Steph Curry at 5 is wild to me, Brian Middleton.
I said what I said.
A little early. Felt right, though.
Yeah, it felt right.
Energy was right.
Yeah, it was right.
So Steph Curry, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be real with you, man. You kind of rushed through the segment yesterday. And the more I thought about it, that jaw ranking was way too low for me.
Jaw?
Yeah. It
At
was way
9?
too low for me.
Yeah.
I can't put him above LeBron, but I surely can put him at 7.
Wow.
All right. I would take Ja right now over Tatum. I'd take him over KD right now. Now, I said what I said about that, but let's get back to these top 5
I think
right
you're
here.
right about that, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not going to push back on that. But
these top 5, I understand your pain and your discomfort.
It just makes no sense.
With Wardell, Stephen Curry being number 5 on that list.
It don't make no sense.
But people just love the Joker. They keep giving him the MVP. I get it. I watch his game. I understand he gets buckets. I understand that he's the catalyst of the Denver Nuggets, and they ain't doing nothing. And I understand that his second in command was there. I'm not hating on him. Put him in the top. You can't have a 2-time MVP like that's still in his prime or getting into his prime, which is crazy if he's getting into his prime, out of the top 5. That's fine. But Steph, best player on the best team. Like literally. Like that's the actual title that he holds on to. The NBA Finals MVP, Steph Curry. So I understand the pain behind that. The problem I don't have, of course, is Giannis. Giannis, he's going to be number 1. I've said it yesterday. I've said it multiple times on here. This guy can do anything he wants, and he's a hard worker, and he has the right mindset as far as I am going to will a team. I'm going to will my team to a championship. I don't care what kind of asterisk or whatever you want to say happened. Certain people got injured or whatnot. He's a champion in Milwaukee. He's a champion amongst the players in the league. He did it in a place where he didn't create a super team. A team was built around him. So, yeah, of course, put him number 1. But as far as, 2, 3, 4, I think I would put Luka number 2. But again, I can't knock the resume of the Joker. Like I can't do that.
Listen, man, I like Luka as much as the next person. Number 2?
Yeah.
Over Steph?
Yeah.
You're wildin'.
Listen, I would put Steph number 3 for this, but based off of
I will take it, but not happily.
Based off of what he's done. I'm sorry, not what he is going to do this year. So he could be number 3 right there. And then I'd put Joker, I guess, number 4. Even though I think Joel should have won the MVP probably this year, if you're not going to give it to Giannis. And then you didn't have Embiid at number 5.
All right, I'm mad about Steph Curry. All right, Brian, here's what we got to do.
Okay.
We're going to do I Said What I Said.
Okay.
Because I've got one.
All right.
I want you to give me your best one.
Okay.
The number 1 thing that you have to say about what you said.
Okay.
Do you want to start or would you like me to start?
No, you go, because yours has got me excited. All right.
Brian Middleton. I woke up this morning at 8 in the morning for guess what? You guessed it, to watch soccer. This time it wasn't Chelsea. It was those boys that wear the red, the white, and the blue, and the USA patch right on the front and in the middle. Worst jerseys of all time. I digress. Played a friendly to get ready for the World Cup against Japan, taking place in Germany. And Brian, when I tell you I've never been so disgusted, I've never been so disappointed to get up and watch anything. Brian, do you know how to score in soccer? Yes, you do. You kick it into the goal. The goalie does not make the save. It goes in the back of the net, and you get a goal. Guess what the U.S. men did not do? I will save you the time. They did not get a shot on net.
Glory.
Not one. They had one real opportunity, and it went over the bar. It was embarrassing. And I know what you're thinking. Wow, nobody probably played, right? Casey, tell us nobody played. Oh, no. They all played except Christian Pulisic, okay? Does he make a difference? Yes. Is he their best player? Yes. But he's not necessarily a goal scorer. Would they have been better if he was out there? Absolutely. You're dang right. However, this is the team they're going to send to the World Cup. This is the team that they're going to try to convince us is good. And you know what? I thought they were good until today. And I know it's just a friendly. I know we have months to go. But if they run that crap out there at the World Cup, we will once again be the laughingstock of the soccer world, because that was horrible this morning. The only thing we learned is Matt Turner will be the starting keeper because he did give up 2 goals. I know what you're thinking. That's a lot. He made like 9 saves. I think it was actually 6, but there was a couple others he impacted on. He was great. Other than that, we learned nothing. It's disappointing. They better be better in the second friendly because I'm telling you, Brian, if they take that to Qatar and the World Cup, I will be a unhappy person for the month of November, and I hate to do it because I love Thanksgiving, Brian Middleton.
I said what I said.
What you got?
We have no time. We need to get into the break like now.
Okay.
All right. I guess more when we come back.
This summer, the weather was brutal, but now it's fall, so you can finally get back out there because fall is the new prime backyard season. Just grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Bonus S. It'll rid your lawn of dollarweed and clover, guaranteed or your money back, so you can enjoy your backyard longer than ever. Scott's, the best fall of all. It's in the bag. Grab a bag this weekend at your local retailer.
You have choices when booking a tour of St. Augustine from the water. Sadly, some tour boat operators don't follow the same high ethical standards as Redboat Tours. Don't be a victim of fake reservations or misleading emails. Book with the one and only Redboat Tours, one of the best boat tour experiences in America according to USA Today. Locally and family owned and operated Redboat Tours. Go to redboattours.com. That's redboattours.com to book a tour you can trust.
You're invited to shop at the White Harvest Farms and Farmers Market every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a market of fresh and affordable farm-to-table produce that comes from a 10.5-acre urban located at 4850 Moncrief Road. There's volunteering, classes, and farming demonstrations. Also, if you're interested in becoming a vendor or volunteer, call 904-354-4162 or visit the White Harvest Farms Eventbrite page. White Harvest Farms wants to be your favorite produce market. This initiative benefits the Clara White Mission.
The Jacksonville Police Athletic League enriches the lives of children by creating positive relationships between law enforcement and the youth of our community through educational, athletic, and leadership programs. This is Mary Bishop, the Executive Director of PAL. We'd like to invite you to get involved. With your support, we can continue to deliver our core program services: after-school education, summer camp, sports, mentoring, and teen leadership. To get involved, go to jaxpal.com. That's jaxpal.com. You can make a difference in the lives of a child. PAL today, leader for life.
Literally seconds to go in the show. Brian Middleton, way to get me out because I had a lot more to say about that performance earlier this morning in Germany, but I will not go into it now because we've got Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp Baseball to go to. Gentlemen, the season is almost over. It's sad we won't get to talk on this very program as we have been all season long. What's going on, boys?
What's up with you guys? We're just, less than a week away. This is a little sad. I'm going to miss you guys.
Yeah. Well, I would miss us too, Scott. No, I'm just kidding. We will miss you as well. Give me the situation. I haven't talked to you guys in a minute. I know Brian talked to you the other day, but I've been in and out and doing things. What's the playoff situation? How are we looking?
There's been definitely rosier pictures, I would say. 3.5 games back with 6 to go, and also having to leapfrog another team in addition to Durham. So Scranton Wilkes-Barre's in second. So I would say, chances are small, but they're not zero yet.
So you're saying there's a chance?
So we're saying there's a chance, and the Jumbo Shrimp are looking to hand the Charlotte Knights a loss tonight, which would give them their worst season in franchise history.
Well, that's always something to play for. I'm excited for that. Give me a lowdown. What do we got going on tonight other than that good stat? Who's going to try to put the Charlotte Knights into misery?
There's going to be a couple of guys. Jeff Lindgren, for one, he's looking to bounce back after a tough start against the Nashville Sounds. He's been pretty good for Jacksonville. He's been hit around a little bit, but what pitcher hasn't in a span of 150 games? He's 3-3 with a 5.19, but when he's on, he's on. I mean, the Jumbo Shrimp are catching heat at the right time. Ray Patrick Ditter has 4 hits in his last couple of games with 4 RBIs in that same span. Jesus Sanchez, who just finished up a 12-game hitting streak. His on-base streak is at 14 games. Brian Miller has been hot since the last 43 games. He's also got an on-base streak going. Luis Aviles Jr., tough little stretch, but a 2-for-3 night with 2 doubles, kind of hoping that pulls him out of it, and he's actually the pregame show interview for tonight and tomorrow. talking about his family, talking about the long season, what it's like building relationships with, some of the Latin guys on the team and how they've been able to keep him in good spirits during this cold stretch. But again, 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles, and he's kind of hoping that kind of pulls him out into something better. And what perfect timing in the end of the season to push them into the playoffs.
Absolutely, and we will have that interview for you on the station in 3-4 minutes time. But until then, Matt, Scott, have a good call. We'll talk to you again next week, and hopefully the Shrimp have a good weekend, but you guys have one as well.
Yeah, no, you guys have a great weekend.
No, you guys have. All right, for real, take it from here.
All right, Matt's got the pregame show next.
I